me a countdown.
And it went way faster than I thought. We are live.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the countdown.
It was a Wyndham Clark countdown. It just happened.
It just happened. That's right.
It just got forced down your throat. That's just kind of what happened. Yeah.
I have to. Okay. Wyndham Clark wins the U.S. Open. I do have to say something funny that happened in my my streams on Tuesday. I mentioned something about how I thought Wyndham Clark is like coming in with great form, and I thought his Canadian Open performance, especially wearing the USA jersey, was going to help him when it came into being in New York, of all places, where fandom is fanatical, where the term fan comes from. And I was thinking, he wore a Jack Hughes jersey, a USA Jack Hughes jersey at the Canadian Open, got all those boos, reveled in it, like, oh, he's the next villain or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was wonderful. And I was saying all this stuff. I think the New York fans are going to accept him. You're going to go in. And then I had this lengthy, there was a person that came into my stream and was like, it sounds like you're a Wyndham Clark hater. And I'm like, no, I'm not a Wyndham Clark hater. I just think that he's kind of a mental midget. And one of these things that helps him is, well, first of all, I also think he revels in villainry, like being a villain. But at the same time, if you can go into an American, venue with America on your back, having that, national pride and stuff like that comes with that, with everything, and the fans cheering you on, it was going to help him. Well, he won the US Open, but the fans were not on his side.
The cheering for for Scotty Fleetwood's par putt to finish T4th was 5 to 10 times louder than.
Time out. You just first started saying Tommy, and then you said Scotty Fleetwood. Did you mean Scotty Scheffler?
Scotty Scheffler. Okay. Wowzers. Scotty Scheffler. Where did Tommy Fleetwood? He finished a couple back. Yes. Okay. Scotty Scheffler's putt for a T4th was significantly louder than Wyndham Clark's. And Dabo, that is so absurd. What happened?
Yes.
I'm a Jets fan, so the drill here. I've been to these Jets stadiums. I've been to these Jets games, and it's dire. The Jets are getting booed before the first quarter's done, that kind of stuff. New York fans are like that. That's just what they do. They boo unless they are the Knicks. Like the Knicks have given New York sports some sort of reprieve in that kind of situation, some momentum to move forward with positivity and things like that. But New York fans don't know how to cheer on their team. They just boo the other team. And Wyndham is also like, what's that meme where you see the guy standing there all handsome and they got the swords pointed at him, and he's just like standing there, just happy as a chappy.
I don't know if
like, that is who Wyndham Clark is. And I just think he's just like oblivious to what what people's perception of him is. I think he's, like when we saw how he won, and there was this like row of people there to congratulate him, all of his like friends and family, obviously his dad, it was awesome. But it's like there's like no other golfers involved in this whole situation. He just always seems out of place. When he was on the Olympic team, he'd done it because he was on the team because of his out of place US Open win, and and the Wells Fargo where he won that, out of nowhere. And then he's in this Olympic team. He's in completely out of shape form. Again, he gets into the President's Cup team. He's like, he goes to Italy. He's also struggles there. It's just like he's just never seems like he's ever fitted in. And I think what he's thought is with better play, people will appreciate him more and respect him more, or just like him because of good golf. but ultimately people like you because of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you come across as a tool, you come across as a tool. You know, like how he apologized for that. It is what it is. You know, this is just the situation that's in the world in now. So
Mm-hmm.
it sucks. It really sucks. But he played fantastic golf, Darbo.
Oh yeah.
Was
I
he
mean, he
on
came out to
a
that
knife's
that
edge the
that
whole time?
round one 6 under, and
Yeah.
that's basically what held him all the way to the final day, because he got to 7 under after
Yeah.
round two, so he shot 1 under, you know, in round two, which is a fantastic score. I mean, there are some really good golfers that failed to even shoot better than par all 4 days. So it's like, you know, he still had two really good rounds, and then, you know, I think he shot even on the third day, and he still was at 7 under. Oh, that one. Gotcha. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah. This guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, but you are so spot on. Like he just maintained, and when he gets himself into contention, he hangs tough.
Mm-hmm.
He's a competitor. You know, we've always said about Taylor Montgomery, one of the most talented golfers, one of the worst competitors. Wyndham Clark could arguably want to be one of the, not the worst golfer in the world, but he's a significantly better competitor
Yeah.
than he is a golfer,
Yeah.
I would say. You know,
you know, going back to what you were talking about with personality, basically, I think it doesn't take anybody with a college degree in psychology to realize that that guy is a head case, you know, and when he walks around, I remember watching him, I want to say in one of the Texas events, whether it was the Charles Schwab or maybe it was earlier, where he had like that second round. It was a terrible score. It was like day one, he was 4 over, 5 over, and then he went to day two. I thought he was going to withdraw. You know, I thought he was playing so poorly compared to the rest of the field. I thought he was going to withdraw, and he fought back and got to like 2 or 3 over or something like that after being like, I said 5 over, but I think he ended up getting higher than that. It might have been 6 or 7, but he fought back, and I was like, interesting. He never threw a club. He never shouted. He never got like, and he didn't withdraw. And that was like, whoa, did something change in Wyndham? And I kid you not, from like, it wasn't that tournament right away after that tournament, but within the next month, he was finishing inside the top 10 or whatever. Like, he was playing really good golf, and he's on a heater right now. Like, he's playing really good. His last 3 events have been really good events compared to the beginning of his season, because it was kind of not great. It was awful.
Well, he wasn't playing in signature events, I don't think, to begin the start of the season, was he?
I don't think so.
This is like what he was up to was Farmers, Waste Management. Okay, he got into Pebble, Genesis. Oh, he got into the first 2, and then I think he missed a couple because he didn't play API, you know, those kind of things. So he must not have. But, you know, obviously this was just a complete scorch factor city here. Now, I think, Darbo, the problem that we have with Wyndham Clark is feeling out of place again. You know, kind of sticking with this theme. Look at this major track record for him. He's now a 2-time major champion with only 3 top 5s in majors.
Yep.
Including the 2 wins.
Yep.
He's got only 4 top 30s. He's got only 5 top 40s in majors. And he's got 2 wins. You know, like, it's just like, what is he doing there?
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
This reminds me of what I said about JT Poston last week when we were talking, or I think it was last week. Maybe it was a week before. It just seems like it's a season. Like, look at his finishes, his best finishes, and his wins that he's had on tour. You know, he won. Well, didn't he win? Did he win the Charles Schwab this year? I can't remember. What did he win?
Yeah, the Byron Nelson.
Oh, the Byron Nelson. Okay, so he won the Byron Nelson. That's an earlier victory in the calendar year than he's had ever before. If you remember what he had won, and maybe it's a bad memory, but he had won the Wells Fargo Championship
in May.
Which was in May. Actually, when was the Byron Nelson this year? Was it also in May? So I might be speaking out of my ass. Okay. But this is what I'm saying is he's got this 2-month, 3-month block of good play. Anytime before or after, it hasn't been that great. His best major performances that you just said were, or not so much said, but what you were showing on the screen were the 2 US Opens that he won, and then the Open Championship, which is end of July, basically. So is it fair to say maybe the time that Wyndham plays good golf is between May to July?
No.
Okay. I see the players. Okay.
And the Pebble Beach Pro Am.
Yeah.
You know, I think the trend is just when he's hot, he's hot.
Yeah, that's fair. That would be my next thing that I would have said. Yeah.
This was Scotty Scheffler. Second. Scotty Scheffler doesn't exist. This is a win, 44th miscut, win kind of thing.
That's right.
Like, so he's absolutely part of the situation. And
totally forgot about the Players Championship.
Yeah. So shout out to him. You know, I landed up betting him last week at the RBC Canadian. Did not think he could do it because, you know, the thing is, we use LACC as like a kind of a comp last week. I don't know who I was talking to.
I don't remember if it was you and I that did that. But it did definitely seem like the wide fairways weren't going to be an issue for Wyndham. You know, I shouldn't say be an issue. He wasn't going to have an issue with driving the golf ball because the fairways are wide. Yeah. So maybe it was you and I talked about that. I don't remember really talking about Wyndham that much. But yeah, maybe.
You know, just looking at how these stats ranked for the week. A lot of good putters. You know, a lot more putters than short game guys this week at the top of the board.
I wonder, is it when Wyndham's putter's hot is when he plays better?
It's just everything, man. You know, like his short game was just so good as well. He made a chip yesterday on number 10, I believe, where he overshot the green. And he landed that thing into that like bank with perfect velocity and spin to just grab, resist, and then like roll out to 10 feet when everybody else was hitting it to 20 feet.
He was one of those golfers that had positive around the green stats heading into the event. Yeah. So he was one of those golfers. Like, we had to have talked about him. Had to have.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. Well, the thing is, it wouldn't have shown. Would it have shown up for me in majors? I don't know. He's been okay around the green. Yeah. So probably, but again, like look at this most recent major track record. It has been abysmal. It has been abysmal apart from the Open Championship, which was very Open Championship this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, so I think
with like Wyndham having such a big fade on his driver, fades kind of get eaten up. Like, sure, you can have a penetrating ball flight with a fade, but normally fades get eaten up more than draws do, especially a big fade like his.
Yeah. But his fade's at 187 miles an hour. So it's like he's essentially hitting a 175 fade.
Sure.
You know, like, I don't know. It's insane. It is truly insane. I don't agree with how he was treated out there. I understand people like not wanting to like cheer for the guy. But, you know, if you are just yelling profanities at someone when you're at a golf tournament, just please don't.
Yeah, it's despicable.
You know, miss me with that stuff. You know, I'm not gonna lie, Darbo. Like, I feel like deflated a little bit after this week. I was really excited for a fun week, and it just felt gross. It just felt gross this week.
I'll be honest with you, Byron. I didn't watch any golf yesterday. Part of that is like I'm kind of training to play in these events that I'm, like I'm practicing and whatever. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there wasn't outside of talking golf with you, there wasn't a need for me to watch this tournament. I will be honest, I don't care for Wyndham Clark winning the US Open. I don't care. And the fact that he was kind of ahead by the large margin it was like, well, what's the point of watching? he's going to have to melt down in order for me to get back to be invested in this tournament, which almost happened. I mean, like, Sammy Biscuits almost came away and won this tournament. He was a golfer that I would like to see win a major. I think even when we were talking about it, I said this was his revenge narrative. He's going to come back and win this U.S. Open because he got screwed from not being able to get a drop out of casual water or whatever it's called. Yeah,
casual water. Now, the thing is, Sam Burns, congratulations. You now show up to the top 5 club in majors. You are now a second place finisher in a major. It qualifies you to be on my betting card in other majors. Because you could kind of see he played well. He played fantastic. He played really well today. And particularly on the front, you can see statistically, he kind of just got gray towards the back end, hit a couple stellar irons on 17 and 18.
Yeah.
And couldn't, the putter being something that let him down significantly on 15, 3-putt, no good. That was the difference, to be honest with you. He 2-putts that. When you are one of the best putters in the world, you can't be doing that.
That's true.
So did he fall short? Yes. Did Wyndham Clark also and I think the way Wyndham wins, it felt he just kept hitting it into spots that he escaped so well this week. He hit it to spots that were like dead. He hit one into the bunker today. Then he hit it fat into the crowd, got up and down for a 4 from like a barren line next to a trash can. Got up and down from so many spots that he should not have. And I think that's what irritates people is like, when you hit it there, where's the punishment? Like he just could, on one of the drives, he hit it way left. And then it was the 16th, this one. He nuked one, 317 off the tee, way left. Managed to just fly it over the fairway bunker that was guarding those kind of layup shots.
Mm-hmm.
Hits it onto the green, makes a big putt for birdie. That was the hinge hole, 16.
Yep. I'll say this. If it was Jordan Spieth hitting it out into the junk and then making it onto the green and making those shots, he'd be cheered for it,
Yeah.
And it would feel different. It'd feel different than Wyndham Clark doing it. Because Wyndham Clark, you're like, yeah, you know what? My buddy called me and he was like, you got to be kidding me. Because he hit it out of the long grass. And I was like, what happened? He's like, he almost chipped in for birdie from the long stuff. And I was like, oh, so what does he have a good par look? He's like, oh yeah, he's going to make par. He should be making bogey though. And I was like, oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me you don't like Wyndham Clark without telling me you don't like Wyndham Clark.
I tell you, man. People do not like him. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen this with somebody.
There are hated golfers out there. I'm trying to. Well, Sergio is one of them, but that's not an American.
Yeah. Okay, but this would be like Sergio going to the Open de España and just getting booed.
Oh, fair enough.
Like Wyndham Clark is a Ryder Cupper, a Olympian, and a past US Open champ.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
I guess who else would there have been an American that ever got booed as much as Wyndham did? I don't think so. You're probably spot on with that.
But I don't think he got booed, as badly. He just didn't
Zach Johnson.
But no, dude, people love Zach Johnson. The people are so,
not when when he snubbed Keegan from the Ryder Cup.
Yes,
he almost was like Shooter McGavin. Will you guys shut up? I'm trying to golf right now.
But this is the thing. Brian Harman at the Open, Josh Ferguson says.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Wyndham Clark in New York City. It's not across the pond. It's not an imposter coming to take your lunch. And it was bizarre. Shout out Tom Kim, man. Just it would have been bizarre if he won, because it would have been his first major start of the year.
And it would have been out of nowhere. Yeah, it would have came from nowhere.
He had to qualify for the US Open, did not play the PGA or the Masters, and now has a second and a third place in majors.
Mm-hmm.
And he hung tough. I mean, this I was listening to at the time, gallivanting around, and this par 5 16 sounded like he played this hole so well. Made a big putt for birdie, and then just couldn't execute the iron shot on 17. The margins were so slim this week that if you just missed your mark by a couple feet, you were screwed. So shout out Tom Kim, played fantastic golf. Is he now in the Travelers?
Ooh, because I don't know. I would see him when I made my updates.
Somebody I'm in the mood for.
He might be the last person to make it now that he finished that well.
Top 10. You play the next tournament, don't you? But
yeah, Ben James is in the Travelers Championships. Like, where the hell did that guy come from?
Probably a sponsor's invite.
Good call. Maybe it is a sponsor.
But I wouldn't be shocked if he gets added tomorrow or something.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
So
and by the way, they actually just updated it. Let me look. It doesn't say Small Hands Tom Kim on there.
Oh, okay.
But Ben James, you were right. He was he's a sponsor exemption.
Yeah.
So too is Tony Finau.
Also, if you take a look, remember Wyndham Clark, Sam Burns, JT Poston, Scotty Scheffler. Think about this. This is so memorial. It's kind of crazy to see how many guys that played well at the Memorial.
Holy hell! I didn't even realize JT Poston got back up into
Yeah, and he made a bogey late to fall.
I talked about it. I said it's JT Poston season, and I think that's a thing for JT Poston. Yeah.
The John Deere Classic is got his name written all over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Even maybe next week. I don't know. We can chat about that.
Ooh,
we will be
maybe next week.
It's a short golf course.
Yeah.
I do want to shout out Keith Mitchell.
I called it.
Yep. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he was one of my 6K golfers that I was touting up. I forget who. I think it was on this show, and you're like, not for me. Keith. I think you said Keith Mitchell's not your guy.
Very much could have, because Keith Mitchell had one top 20. It was a T20 at the 2023 Open Championship.
Okay. I remember our conversation about Keith Mitchell. I said, could stats lie? Because when he was on the Smiley Kaufman show, they were talking about how good of a chipper it was. It was a Russell Henley. We were talking about Russell Henley being a good putter, and then I brought up Keith Mitchell saying, for the longest time, how people used to say Russell Henley was a good putter, but the stats didn't bear it out. Now that the stats do bear it out, is Keith Mitchell a good chipper if all the people are saying that he has good short game? And that's our fun little conversation, because we were looking for golfers that had good short games. That's who we were. That was kind of a qualifier to be in our lineups.
And Keith went ahead and just led the field in putting. So that's all Keith Mitchell did today and this week. Insane. Gained, 7 strokes putting. That's crazy for you.
Yep.
You're going to get a T4. So congratulations, Keith. Better than a T20 now with a T4. Finds himself with a top 5 in a major, skipping the top 10, popping that top 10 and top 5 cherry. And I believe, if I don't remember the PGA Tour radio saying that he's the first person to shoot 70, 70, 70, 70 in a US Open.
And go back to round 1. I thought he was dead in the water. He started on 10.
On 10. This for someone to go 70, 70, 70, 70 with this as your starting scorecard.
By the way, wild. He didn't shoot in the 30s on either of his rounds.
And shot 70, 70, 70, 70.
41-29. That is a psycho of two halves. Holy shit.
And from a fantasy perspective, he had the Yahtzee
Perfect. Yes.
threes across the board for 5 in a row, 3 threes in a row for a birdie eagle
And an
streak.
eagle.
So this was like optimal fantasy stuff. It was really impressive to see what, like, I think if no, whatever, I'm not going to go, I'm hunting it down, but he was like one of the top fantasy scorers despite not being remotely close to the top of the leaderboard. It was just one of these, bizarre things. So shout out to Keith Mitchell. This is the thing. You would I have guessed that Keith Mitchell finishes T4 because he was the best putter in the field?
No.
But he drove the ball well, gave himself confidence and momentum. How many fairways did he hit this week? He missed 13 fairways all week. So driving at 312 yards on average.
Hey, do you know does this show like the field average at all? Because it was one of those things I think you had mentioned with the fairways being as wide as they are. Didn't we look at 2018s or something like that and determined what the driving accuracy was?
70% again this year. 70.6.
Yeah, that's pretty large. Pretty large.
Accuracy, green regulation rates was 69%. So, which is why the putting. Remember, this is exactly what we were thinking, right? You see a lot more putters at the top of the leaderboard this week because they had a 9% more GR rate compared to last time round. I think it was 52, 53% green regulation rates, and I think they were so scared of losing the course that they kind of kept it soft and subtle for long enough. There were also patches of weather where golfers found themselves just having very scoreable conditions because the course was set up for the diabolical stuff coming later in the afternoon, or at some instances, having to protect the guys going off in the morning. The guys went off on my boy Russell. My guy Russell was miles off the pace while Miles Russell was doing his thing. This was my problem. If I go to like round 3 and just find who played the worst in round 3, you can find my guy Russell Henley hanging out with Peter Uihlein, Patrick Rogers, Eric Lee, Ben James, Harry Higgs, James Nicholas. It's basically like Hollywood over here. And Russell Henley just lost the plot. Completely lost the plot for me. Shot at 80. But Harry Higgs played fantastically for his caliber, coming in.
Yeah, dude.
ADDC with his really good around the green place showed up. Neil Shipley has now played in every single major he's played in and made the cut. I think that's now 3 in a row for him. Yep. Aaron Rai. I want to shout out Aaron Rai because he finished 11th. Look at this man's major track record. I didn't realize that he hasn't missed a major. Oh, he did. He missed a couple, but he's been on a run since 2022. So 2024 he has not missed a cut. Made the cut the major after winning the PGA Championship, and finished 11th. Showed up. So congrats to him on being a true champion, where he didn't punt it in, made it home, showed up, played some good golf. Shout out Aaron Rai. Xander Schauffele coming home with another top 20 in a major. This is now 18, I think, of the last 19 majors.
And I'll give you some props on that because when we were talking about Xander as we were going down the list, I was like, ugh, I can't do Xander. He's just not as good as he once was. And you were quick to say, but have you looked at his major track record? He just plays solid, every single major that he's in. Speaking
of Justin Rose, T11, another guy who's on a run right now in majors. Here's Justin Rose's last couple majors. Starting in 2024 at the Open Championship. Second, miscut. T16, T3, T10, T11. We are now we're just averaging top 16 finishes in majors for Justin Rose. How did I know when Justin Rose wasn't going to win the tournament? Because I had a bet on him this week. Well, it was when he 3-putted from 15 feet on the very first hole. That's how you know your guy's not going to win. So shout out him. Wako Neiman. Let's chat about him a little bit, Darbo.
Okay. I know what you want to talk about.
Yeah. Where is it? It's on this hole. Okay.
That's crazy. So crazy.
This is I'm actually gonna just ask you your thoughts on Wako Neiman. What are they?
So I don't remember if I saw it from your Twitter or if I saw it from somebody's. I think it was yours. I think you showed the let's see how Yako's doing, and it was driver right.
Yes.
Driver right. Driver middle. And then there were additional like strokes that were put on. And honestly, Byron, I had no idea all the way up until the end of the tournament today that I looked on Twitter and saw all these posts about Yako, what he did, how he acted, all of that stuff to find out how he got his 2 additional penalty strokes added on to his score. So after reading about it, never seeing it, Byron, I never saw what he did. Yeah. But after reading about it, it's like, well, sir, those 2 strokes, they just, you go from being 7th place, you could have been 3rd place, right? Is that what -1 was? 3rd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I believe that's quite a significant amount of money that you could have made. Also, OWGR points, which are things that he lacks because of playing on live.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you want to talk about his behavior, it's ridiculous. That's stupid. Like,
yeah.
I've never broken a club. I've never thrown a club. I don't see the purpose. I don't even see the value you get out of doing something like that. Some people want to make the argument, well, you're able to release all of your tension out of your body by doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, you could damage a golf club or injure somebody, including yourself, for doing stupid, like you're acting like a moron.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, it's just like the whole John Rahm thing. When John Rahm acts that way, it's like, that's just little entitled, spoiled brat syndrome. Like you're throwing a hissy fit for no reason. Bottle it up, pal. Bottle it up and release it slowly. Be professional about it.
Be professional about it, dude. I went and threw some golf clubs on a football field. I don't know if you saw that video, Dog.
No. You just wanted to see how far you could throw it?
Yeah. So I went to here we go.
Oh my God.
Here's me on the. Can you hear this?
Oh no, I can't hear it.
Know how to but anyway, you can see me.
There's some clubs for science. Well, let's see this form. Ooh, ooh, okay.
I've got to find. Yeah. My forearm it's kind of tight right now.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Which one is this? The 3-iron?
The 3-iron.
Oh my God. Such a goof. What a goof. Love it, dude. Love it.
I go just hunting down, marching off to go and find how far I hit this, thing, and then I eventually get there and it's just lying in the
amazing. Amazing.
Good stuff there. Good stuff. So
good shit.
I threw them about 65 yards, both 65 to 70.
Pretty good,
yards. Man. And I will say that I've thrown my fair share of clubs in my life. mostly as a youngster. I think I might have thrown one when you were with us, but I've noticed as I've started playing worse golf, it comes with that. Maybe I didn't, but
I'm trying
I'm
to remember
typically
if
in
you
control.
did, if I excused it in my brain.
No, you should definitely call me out on it. But I typically also, my golf clubs are so freaking old as well, and I make a rule that if I'm only allowed to buy one golf club a year,
Okay.
and I broke a sandwich 2 years ago, and I didn't get to use it for a full year until I could replace it the next year. It got stuck in the mud, and I tried to pull it out the mud, and it snapped the shaft. Now, I don't know how it got stuck in the mud, but it is
Oh,
what it is. So yeah, Waco Neiman. I wanted to pull up on your tool. I'm going to do it here. This is sweetspotdfs.com, which is what Eric sells, and it's an amazing tool. You can go here and see, okay, your finishing position after rounds, and I filtered by Waco Neiman's majors.
okay.
These are for the majors in his life for a while. So his best position after round one at the 2022 Masters, he was third. 2022 PGA Championship, seventh, and his 2024 Masters, eighth. His next rounds after that, the third place at the Masters finished with a 10th after round two. The other two, he finished 17th and 35th.
Yeah.
So he immediately
Dejects.
went the other way. Okay. Then his finishing positions after round two. His best finishes after a Friday in a major. 10th at the 2022 Masters and 10th at the 2023 Masters. 11th, 12th, 17th. After those rounds, 26th, 15th, 40th, we got the 2021 PGA Championship. He went from 12th to 7th, but he landed up finishing 30th that year. Wop wop. He just cannot find himself inside
that's nuts.
we don't have a top 10 outside of this Masters 2022 when he landed up finishing 35th. He hasn't really had consecutive top 10s in a major round. And everyone is arguing this guy would have finished freaking second if he didn't have that penalty. It's like, well, buddy, he's likely closer to the top of the leaderboard. And he walked off the course when Wyndham Clark and Scotty walked off hole 3. That was one of the most non-competitive situations you've ever seen.
That's fair.
So now he's got back-to-back top 10s, and everyone arguing about this situation. Like, you can see it right here. Like, every single time he's got a good
point.
Opportunity to do anything. 2021 PGA Championship went into the final round in 7th. That was his best leaderboard presence going into a final round, and he finished 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went from 11th to 18th, from 15th to 16th, from 20th to 32nd, from 21st to 22nd, from 23rd to 23rd, 24th to 23rd. He's barely ever got better going into, unless he's way down the leaderboard. And that happened today. So now he's got back-to-back PGA Championships where he's done this, did a PGA Championship last year and then this year again. So, going in there 31st last year at the PGA Championship and finishing 8th.
That's a great point, because that's a lot of the things that I like to talk about just with golf in general. Is it's situational a lot of times. If you are at the top of the leaderboard in round 4, you're going to play a lot differently than if you're on the bottom of the leaderboard of round 4. And I will give him props for shooting 7 strokes, like adding 7 plus 7 to your scorecard in one hole, and then coming around and actually making the cut. Not only making the cut, when everybody else, again, like I said this before, there's some good golfers out there that were never able to break 70 in all 4 rounds. But for him to come around, make the cut, that is pretty solid.
Yeah, so he got dished this penalty at some point in I think he finished roundabout here. There was fire ants involved, whatever. birdie. Goes 4 under in the first 6.
He knew it. He had to push.
Well, he knew, and he also was playing with house money, man. Like he had nothing to lose. He'd missed the cut at that point.
That's
in his
right. Yep.
way you can go out there and just you got to play freely and ball out. Did he putt his brains out? Yes. Did he drive the ball great? Fine. He hit his irons fantastically, you know, that kind of stuff. But I think in general, he's these were two drives that went OB. He hit back-to-back drives out of bounds, and then the next one wasn't in play.
Yep.
The point of major success is doing what Wyndham Clark did, is just avoiding double bogeys. It's avoiding hitting your golf ball into the neighbor's pool 3 times, essentially. You know, he finds himself with one round that sets him back, and then he like is freed up. The shackles are off, and then he got, you know, because he knows he can't win after that one bad round.
Well,
And
it's just like those other golfers that backdoor their top tens. Like they have nothing else to play for on their final round. Why not go guns blazing? You know?
Yeah. Like this Ludwig top 20 was delightful. I mean, he went -4 today. You know, it was one of the rounds of the day. Him and Ludwig and Peter Uihlein, who went out well early. All of them gained putting, and then Ludwig just did it through the bag. He just played really good, solid golf, but he was the only high-priced guy that went out really early this morning. You know, when conditions were pretty much better than anything else. So, shout out Trill Hatton. You know, I had a top 20 bet on him, and he made an eagle today on one of the par 5s.
Nice.
Came rattling home. There, he's now playing fantastic golf in majors as well. Tyrrell Hatton over the last little while, has finished 4th, 16th, 3rd, missed the cut, 7th. So this is now 3 top 10s, 4 top 16s in his last 5 majors. I mean, he's playing good golf in majors when it matters. You know, he used to look at what he used to do. Just not get it really home. You know, this was very underwhelming. Now he's starting to do some stuff. So I don't know. I thought I wanted to definitely bring this up. I'm glad I could show you guys this, and we can clip that at about the 38-minute mark, probably.
Yeah.
We'll see this Waco Neiman situation. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to chat about, Darbo?
Yes. Weather wave bullshit. I'm so tired. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Things that have happened in the past that have worked out in the past, and what I'm talking about in the past, I'm talking like 2017, 2018, where wave stacking actually worked out for people. Like, to me, I keep track of the optimal lineup, the GPP winning lineup, and a lineup I call the sweet spot optimal. They're the 3 best lineups you can build, primarily because the GPP winning lineup, someone wins $1 million with a GPP winning lineup. When you look at all those lineups, you will always see a mix of AM and PM golfers. There's never a full 6 on one side or a full 6 on the other side. Even during the Players Championship, where Cam Smith won the event. Somebody had 2 golfers in the opposite wave to go with 4 golfers from the wave that was opposite of what people thought you needed. Because like everybody was like, ooh, it's going to be really terrible for the AM golfers, or I forget how it ended up working out. What ended up happening that day, that Thursday for the Players Championship, is they delayed. It was like a 2-3 hour delay that pushed PM into AM of the next, whatever. Oh, I think it was like avoid PM golfers because they're going to get the worst of the weather. Well, they got delayed into the next day. And so they played the next day when the weather was perfect. And so not perfect, but way better than what the AM golfers had to deal with.
Yeah.
So the AJ's in my chat. And this is what brought this up, and it reminded me of it. I also made a bet with people in my chat. I said, you'll have at least 3 PM golfers inside the top 10. There were 4 PM golfers inside the top 10. Thursday, Friday. So I've been around the block a time or two. I think wave stacking is absolutely stupid. I think stat stacking is absolutely stupid. It's a 4/6 or it's the 2/3 rule. Remember, I'm going to believe this to the day I die. You should never follow something 100% when it comes to DFS golf. 2/3, 66%.
I can get behind that concept. I do think there's a bit more relevance to stat stacking than weather, because certain golfers they just play better at certain types of courses.
Sure. I don't know. You want to elaborate on that? I mean, what type of stat stacking are we talking about? Are we talking about grass splits, or are we talking about
like driving? Like if you want to just pile in the guys that just drive the ball very far when you go to Torrey Pines.
But I will say this, just like what we did with the lead-in stats, we look at every single event. We look at the top off the tee golfers, the top approach golfers, the top, all that stuff. At most, half of them finish inside the top 20. And I understand there's going to be some golfers that have very little rounds. Well, we throw those golfers out. We don't talk about the Jackson Coivins that have only played the Barbasol Championship just once, and his stats are just absolutely ridiculous. But if we look at established PGA Tour players that have played multiple events on tour, when it comes to stat stacking, it's like you're still going to find 50% of them have a finish of 40th or worse, including missed cuts. And the other half of those are going to be somewhere between 11th place to 24th place, which are good finishes, but they aren't winning you GPPs. And when it comes to this whole DFS game that we play, that's why I'm more strict on this, where it's like, I'm not going to stack just based off of, whether it's weather stacking or whether it's, off the tee or approach or around the green. I'm just not going to do that, because I know I've seen it. I keep track of this stuff too much to know that it's too unpredictable.
Fair. I get it, but at least there's 2/3 that makes sense, right?
I do.
How are we looking with your sweet spot stuff?
Well, I was going to say, you can go ahead and put my thing on the screen.
I'm probably going to wear glasses for the rest of the show, because now that I'm looking at the screen at like your screen,
this is just white, just straight brightness.
Dude, it's my eyes. I've been like, it's been a day. These are prescription. I also couldn't find my yellow ones that I like, because we are moving right now, and we have now people just coming through our house daily. We listed our house Saturday morning. I may or may not have indulged in some delicacies mid-morning on Saturday to just enjoy watching golf all day.
Yeah.
We get a text from the realtor say, can you show your house in 2 hours time? And I want to sell this house. So I'm like, yeah, but it's just me at home. And I'm tidying up the house, cleaning up, wiping windows down, like doing stuff I've never done in forever. Just getting ready for this place to look good. So it's been a long weekend for me. Today we had another showing this evening. So I don't have any of my models ready because we've been out of the house. Got to pick up the dogs, the child, the wife, and get out of here. That's my story.
Hey, well,
What's your
also
story?
Happy Father's Day, and Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there that are watching this.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. There's a lot I do that my dad did, and there's always good you can take from your parents. There's bad, nor the bad. There's always good you can take from them and continue that legacy that they gave you.
Love it. Okay, just wanted to talk about a few things here. You know how I feel about the 5K range and when it comes to DFS pricing. Well, no 5K golfers were used in the making of the optimal, the milli, or the sweet spot optimal. But For the optimal lineup, we had two $6,200 golfers and a $6,300 golfer. Let me check something really quick. By the way, anyone can go here. You click here. I want to see what I have a price conversion tool on this cheat sheet. I want to see what 62. So 6,300 technically for me would be a 7K golfer. And then at the top of the $6,200 price tag, that'd be your 6,900. If this was normal DraftKings pricing, that I converted all these to be normal DraftKings pricing. Yeah. So your cheapest golfer, Byron, in a normal instance for the optimal would have been $6,900. But for this week, it's two 7K golfers. And am I looking at this wrong? 2 7s. Oh, 3 7s. Sorry, Joaquin Neiman. 3 7s and 3 6s. That was your optimal. No one's getting that. You're not leaving $8,400 on the table. No one's ever doing that. And if you do, good luck, because you're just not going to build those lineups.
41.6. Yeah, no one's building a 41,000. That was the optimal?
That was the optimal. And you want to know something funny? You see Scotty Scheffler right there? If I take away JT Poston, because if I actually, let me put a filter on this first and sort it by DraftKings points top to bottom. JT Poston and Scotty Scheffler scored the same amount of points. Watch this, Byron. Here are your top 6 golfers of DraftKings scoring. $50,200. So it's $200 over the salary cap Scotty Scheffler could have been in the optimal lineup if he was $200 cheaper. Which he easily could have been. We talked about this 14.9. It's such a stupid price tag.
But it makes the game more fun to play.
Also, Byron, I keep track of the Millie Maker lineup. There were 5 people that split it, I think, this week, or 4 people that split it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was the same lineup for all. I just grabbed one of these lineups. It had Scotty Scheffler in it. So it had 2 of the top 5 golfers. I don't know if you were watching me as I was updating that other spreadsheet that I have. You want to take a stab at who the 6th golfer was in the GPP winning lineup? You can't see him on the screen.
Ooh.
He finished pretty poorly. He scored 37 DraftKings points. You remember how Wyndham escapes out of the weeds and we hate him for it? Who was the golfer I said that we would celebrate if that happened?
I don't know.
Jordan Spieth.
Oh yes.
Jordo.
He was in the guys.
Look at this. He's all the way down here. Finished 56th place.
Jesus.
Your Millie Maker lineup scored 451.5 points. And I said it was chopped. It was chopped either 4 or 5 ways. I can't remember. 451.5. The optimal scored 493. So it's only 40 points between the two. But it's such a low scoring affair because it's the US Open. You know?
Yeah.
So that 40 is actually kind of a big deal.
Percentage-wise.
Yeah. I keep track of really 2 sweet spot optimals. One follows all the rules, including the marquee tee times, all that stuff that I cover in my videos. That one scored 467. So it scored 16 more points than the Millie Maker lineup. And that included the same golfers minus Jordan Spieth. And instead, it had Ben Griffin, who we talked about having a good short game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. You see all this red lettering or all the red text? These are golfers that have good recent form. So if I sorted by recent form top to bottom, I found out a trend on before my Wednesday night stream, that of all of the US Opens, minus one, I think it was 2022 or 2021, one US Open did not have a GPP winning lineup or a successful lineup that included golfers with a recent form of 38. It was like I would give 38.8 kind of a reprieve, but it was 38. It was around the number 38 of recent form or better, Byron, for all 6 golfers in the GPP winning lineup. All 6.
Well,
all 6.
So where's the 60 the 2/3 rule?
For that yeah, well, I think I even mentioned you could do the 2/3 rule. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it.
Because Tom Kim would be in the mix there for sure.
Right. The other thing though is, Keith Mitchell wasn't there. He wasn't in that.
Yeah.
And he was the only golfer. So if I resort this by DK points top to bottom, you can see all the red lettering. So yeah. When it comes,
Haddon was playing good golf on Live, so that's weird because you don't have some Live data. DJ's been playing much better golf as well.
Yeah. And I even mentioned that I just don't have Live data. So even if this 85 is unfortunate because, and I did talk about this with Live golfers. So if I sort this back on recent form average, we're going to see our boy Cam Smith is up here. So too is John Rahm, which was a golfer that I really liked. I just knew for whatever reason, one of these top Live golfers out of, let's say, like the top 6 Live golfers. So there's Rahm, there's Cam Smith, Yako. Let's see who else.
Puig.
I don't count Puig. I don't really care about Puig.
Okay.
I thought there was a 4th one.
DJ.
Well, I'm saying of the top recent form. Is he up here? I don't see Dustin Johnson.
Good point.
Okay, maybe. Who?
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think when I look back at the last 3 years when Live was in existence, some of the best, because like these all come from the PGA Championship, and that was the same of the last couple leaderboards. You look at the top Live golfers, and it was like half of them missed the cut and half of them finished inside the top 20. So there was a part of me thinking, all right, this is going to work out for our Cam Smith guy. You and I both were like high on Cam Smith. I was also really high on John Rahm. The one golfer I was not that high on was Joaquin Niemann. I couldn't care less to play Joaquin Niemann. I'm not even going to make any excuses I just don't care. Like I still wouldn't play Joaquin Niemann even after seeing this finish and him being in the optimal lineup. I was never going to get there.
No, it's just not. He was so close to not making the cut this week.
Yeah,
as well. It was. It's banana land. It's truly banana land.
So anyways, with all the red golfers, here's a $50,000 lineup that you could build right here that had all of them. I know the 2/3 rule you want to put into play, but if I don't, and I just go this way, this one scores 457.5. It beats the Millie Maker lineup. So you could have followed that. I don't know what their around the green game looks like, but we talked about Aaron Rye. His around the green game was good.
Well, Gary would have been the true outlier there because he still struggled around the green this week, but took care of business so hard because of the additional putts that they got, because of the additional green regulation rates that they afforded themselves this week.
Yeah. So
Gary was negative. Him and Keith Mitchell were the only 2 people inside the top. Akshay, Colin Morikawa, Keith Mitchell, and Gary Woodland were the only 4 people inside the top 20 that lost around the green this week.
Okay. But I guess before I got on that little tangent, and we were talking about Scotty's price tag, he was in the GPP winning lineup. He was also in the Sweet Spot Optimal, both Sweet Spot Optimals, the one that follows the marquee tee times in all the buckets, and the best lineup that uses $49,600 of the salary and above. That's the other Sweet Spot Optimal I keep track of. So even at that ridiculous price tag of $14,900, and this is going to give DraftKings even more reason to price him up is that high, is because he still performs well enough to make someone $1 million, or I guess chopped 5 ways, 300,000 to each person.
Yeah.
That's insane. But it requires a couple things. It requires a $7,800 or less winner, and you need to have those 6K golfers up there, which we did talk about, and I was enamored with 6,600, 6,700 golfers, Harris English, Adam Scott, when I could have easily went to like Gary Woodland at $6,600, or, you know, I guess I did play a lot of Keith Mitchell. I did not play much JT Poston. I just, even though it's JT Poston's season, I just did not feel
in a major. It's like,
yeah, that's right. A short ball hitter that's going to go into the major. It's going to be tough. I guess I just didn't respect him, you know? And there's no way I'm getting to Tom Kim, even with his good finishes leading into the event. There's no way I'm getting to Tom Kim.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense why he played well this week, but I think he was also one of the few guys that like really missed a bunch of fairways this week as well. Tom Kim, yeah, he was one of the least accurate guys at the top of the board, which is hilarious, you know, considering he's super accurate. But yeah, where did that come from? Keith Mitchell, JT Poston has a 5th place finish at the PGA Championship last year at Quail. That's it. He doesn't have any other finish better than a top 30. So now he's got 2. He's doing the Wyndham Clark without the wins.
Yeah. Well, he's got to win a Memorial.
In majors. He's got 2 major top 5s now. And he's also got 2 major top 30s.
Gotcha.
That's his, you know, like it's these 2 random high-end finishes, but he hasn't been stacking consistent performances in majors, which is kind of insane. It's what people are doing now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so. Even though I had kind of all the signals as to who to play, what to play, I was stuck with a lot of Cam Smith, Harris English, Adam Scott, John Rahm, golfers who missed the cut.
Dude, John Rahm went from, I had him in 1 and done, and I was like, oh man, I've got this. Like, if I can get a 2nd place finish out of John Rahm,
yep,
I'm be looking good.
Yep.
Next thing, he's just missing the cut out of nowhere. So, you know, I had him top 10, top 5 as well. Like, it just he was playing so well, and then just missed the cut. It was
Brooks was my 1 and done.
That was sneaky, you know, given the injury, but it turned out too aggressive.
Yeah.
Cam Smith basically cost himself the tournament on 1 hole where it was all short game related. We go to the guy because he is the best in short game department.
Yep.
Chips 3 times to get the ball on the green.
Yeah.
And then 2 putts still, you know, like.
I need to make a note for myself for all US Opens to not invest that much into them, because or maybe what I need to do, maybe that's not the right answer, or I shouldn't be saying that stuff. I need to reevaluate my process for US Opens.
There we go.
It's like, I feel like I had the right tools or the right thought process when it came to like the recent form stuff. I mean, I updated my bucket. So here's actually, I think I still have it. No, I don't. What I ended up doing, Byron. So yeah, the 2/3 rule, I didn't do 2/3. What I ended up doing was I only played golfers from recent form 1 and recent form 2. So my pool was 43 golfers deep. But I had a rule that said I could play up to 1 golfer that was either in recent form 3, 4, 5, or 6. So it wasn't a 2/3 rule. It was a 5/6 rule.
1/6, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, shoot, if I went back to show you this again, I would have been right. I would have been right.
Yeah.
Keith Mitchell's my one dude.
Yeah.
So like, I had the tools. I had the wrong golfers in mind. Because when you click that run optimize button, I know you do the same thing. You look at the lineup and you're like, ooh, I like that. Or you say, nope, can't do it. And why when you say, can't do it, it's because there's golfers in it like Keith Mitchell.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you've got to remember that there's variance involved. You have to. It's been interesting, Darby, because I do a post round article for Showdown for each, round the next week, and I go and I find, okay, who are the highest scoring golfers this week in round 1 Showdown, and what was their ownership? Almost every single golfer at the top of the list is sub 10% owned.
Really?
In Showdown, because that is just golf for you.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who the hell the guy is going to be that's shooting the best round of the day.
It's
now,
true.
over 4 rounds, usually the higher owned stuff pans out, but in Showdown, anybody can be there. There are a couple high owned guys, but there are significantly more 1 to 5% guys just having the round of the day. This is the PGA Tour at the end of the day.
And this is
is going to be there.
And I've said this to you before. I constantly say it on my stream. These golfers are good enough to be here. Like, they've all proven they're good enough to play in these events and perform well. They've all won somewhere in life. I'd find it very rare if one of these PGA Tour players only got to the PGA Tour by only finishing no better than 4th place and finishing nothing worse than like 8th place. They just have a string of 4th to 8th place finishes, and that gave them enough points to qualify to get into the PGA Tour off the Corn Ferry. Like, that doesn't really happen. You're going to have 1st place, and even if you go back further than that, they all played college golf. They probably won events in college.
Except for Taylor Montgomery. I remember he was the number 1 Corn Ferry Tour point scorer without a win.
Oh, well, he also hasn't won on tour yet, so.
But there's always an outlier. Okay,
that's right. That's true.
Fine. But we're getting a.
You can only get so far with an ugly golf swing like his.
Exactly, and the shoulders of a 7-year-old. I guess.
Well, that's because of his ugly golf swing.
Yeah, probably. So shout out T-Mont there.
Yeah.
Other names, any other things, any other points to be taken away here? I'm kind of excited to get to Travelers.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to the around the green stuff, I don't have everything updated. I guess if we looked at the cheat sheet, this one right here, we can look at all the best around the green golfers, but I don't have results in here, so that's kind of disappointing. We can kind of just. Jesus, Justin Thomas is the best finisher out of all of these guys.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, of course. There's Wyndham Clark. Tommy Fleetwood finished 11th.
Ben Griffin, Keegan Bradley, Sahith.
Hey, that's enough golfers from the top, because when we only looked at the top of this leaderboard of strokes gained around the green and basically said, well, shoot, in past US Opens, we've seen at least half of these golfers finish top 20. Well, I think we probably have half of them finish top 20, right? Did ADDC finish top 20?
No. But he finished 49th for what? I mean, look how cheap he was, So he did his job.
Yeah.
Made the cut.
But we're pretty close to getting half of these golfers. I mean, if we went all the other stats, I mean, I'm sure Wyndham Clark was top of off the tee. So was Joaquin Niemann, but that's one event. Ty Hatton was up there. Scheffler was up there. Woodland was up there. Mitch, oh God, off the tee kind of is standing out a little bit. There's
I mean, the number 1 off the tee guy missed the cut. So,
yeah. And I don't see Wyndham up there.
Yeah. The thing is, Wyndham's situation is probably the last 7 weeks that you want to be looking at versus the last 12, right? Like, this is what's his thing. It's so much better the last little while than
how far off the tee it looks like.
Well, you haven't filtered by it yet.
Yeah, it's filtered. It auto filters. Oh, never mind. You're right. I was wrong. I don't see him.
So yeah. Which, kind of fit into the narrative that we were talking about.
With short game?
There he is there.
Oh my God.
All the way at the he was the everything but what mattered this week.
Yeah. Well, look at the strokes gain total. 2.9. Yeah.
And it was the only thing that we thought was the least important was off the tee.
Yeah, right, dude. Oh my God. He's the top of strokes gained total over the last 7 weeks, and his off the tee was the worst.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. He was my stat fish of the week.
Oh boy.
So I had him there. And because of his poor major track record, because he was obviously a good play coming in here. Look at how well he was playing. You know, this is what we discussed when I said that. It was like, okay, I get he's playing good golf, but he just hasn't translated that to majors. Fucking true as Bob. The one major I have him as a stat fish, he bites me, pulls me into the pond with him. So,
okay.
But I did say Bryson would have been my stat fish if it wasn't low hanging fruit. So, you know.
So here's the thing. We touched on this twice now, basically. How is this a deeper thought maybe than just asking this in 2 seconds? How do we play the Wyndham Clarks? How do we play the Keith Mitchells? When we see their name and we sneer at it when the optimizer selects them, how does that? Because in all honesty, I haven't done a full video on this before. I have always planned to do it, where it's like, if you were to anchor your lineups around 4 golfers, so you handpick 4 of them that you think fits, as well as they possibly can into the lineup construction that you're trying to do. You pick 4 golfers. The other 2 are always going to be random. Well, when you pick your 4, you're just going to live and die by them. But when the 2 come around and it's like Wyndham Clark and Keith Mitchell, and you just go, well, I'm only building 10 lineups. I don't want either of them in my lineup. How do you get away from that? Or does it matter? Because obviously it's your money you're spending. You're building lineups that you feel comfortable building. Is there just a plug your nose and just go, I'm just going to deal with it?
I think you probably need to have a system where you say, okay, what are the pros and cons? What are the reasons I want to play him for? Wyndham Clark, he wanted a comp course US Open. Boom. He's playing, he's the best golfer in the field over the last 7 weeks. Why don't I want to play him?
That is true.
Because his next top 30 will be his 3rd in a major. Or his 4th. You know what, like that kind of which one makes more sense? Which one is the scarier proposition? If you don't have him and he's the best golfer in the field in form right now who has won a US Open, or are you not playing him like I did because this is his 2nd US Open win and it's his 3rd top 20 only ever in a major? Like I lean too much into the negative of his profile than his upside, which was obviously there. I admitted it when I was doing the Statfish profile. So we all knew that it was there, but at the same time, there was that stink. Keith Mitchell, how do you sell yourself on Keith?
For me,
this was his first top 20 in a major. I can't remember what we said that was for Keith. Keith, yeah, T20 at the 20 at LACC. He had a T20 at LACC. He putted his brains out. So he did it again this week. You see, that to me is just where you go. How are you going to figure this out with Keith Mitchell? Because I guess maybe the CJ Cup Byron Nelson's a good indicator because Wyndham Clark and Keith Mitchell finished 1st and won that damn thing. Scotty Scheffler finished 3rd. Who else did well at the CJ Cup? Keith Mitchell. No, okay. I thought we could glom onto some stuff. But yeah, I think who else would we want to have got off of that we didn't?
Siwoo Kim.
Yeah. Well, Siwoo Kim's major track record came rearing its head hard.
Yeah.
Early, where I think he was 25% owned in round 1 showdown and scored negative points.
Crazy. Yeah.
So like one in every 4 lineups in showdown had a guy that scored negative points for them this week, which is hilarious. This is so US Open. like Sam Burns, dude. You know, like I think he's just showing up in US. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
The regression model. I feel like regression models in this DFS golf stuff, because like Rick Run Good probably runs the most regression models, you know, and it just, there's too many data points that are very similar that I don't feel like you can pull anything out of those models to say, oh, that's why, or this is why this guy did well, this is why this guy did poorly. It's a two-thirds rule. I think it's always going to be prevalent in my mind. Is you could run a regression model, and that regression model is going to show that, you know, the golfers that did well this week, they had really good recent form coming in. They had really good around the green stats and stuff like that. But when you then sort their lead-in data and realize, oh, half of them missed the cut of the top, you know, so how do you figure out what is the proper regression, you know, the proper data points in a regression model?
And the thing is, some regression models don't necessarily grade out stats for certain guys. They're not going to pop in stats because they do golf courses differently. They are short game specialists. That's what they do every single time. You know, that's just how they go.
Yeah.
If a regression model is going to say, you know, Brian Harmon's not going to play well because of driving off the tee, you know, but he does because you're not weighting nearly as much putting. I don't know. But shout out to Sahith. T11 had a good chance to top 5 his first major. He's now got a 12th and 11th and a 9th in the majors. 23, 24, and 26 years. That's how he did that. 2025 was a bad year for him. Let's get into Travelers, Darbo. I'm unenthused. No, we did more than enough recap in my opinion.
Before we get to Travelers, I don't know if Joanne came into your chat, but she wished you a happy Father's Day.
Oh, well, thank you, Joanne. I did not see her in the chat yet, but I will take on that message and say thank you kindly. It's been a fun one. She's a little dynamo right now. Motor does not stop. I am a very exhausted man.
The few times that I've seen her, she's full of personality.
Oh my God. She's got dads and moms. She's got it all. You know, she's amazing. She's a little angel. I love her so much. Can't wait for her to be a big sister as well.
Oh yeah.
All right, my friend.
I'm ready to talk about the Travelers.
Let's talk about the Travelers. In general, high level, what can we expect? What kind of golfers, just from your general understanding of the golf course, guys that are very good from 125 to 175, that mid-iron, you know, wedge to mid-iron range. It's a golf course that has such an abundance of shots from that range.
Yeah.
You know, guys that hit their long irons well aren't going to be rewarded at this golf course nearly as much. You know, like we're going to see a wide variety of golfers succeed here because the course kind of allows everyone in. So that being said, a little preface, I'm curious to see what the stats unveil coming into the week.
Well, let's go to lead-in data and see what we get from each of these the years that the Travelers has been played.
You are watching this on YouTube. Make sure you hit the little cog button, see what your definition settings are, and get it to 1080. Because this is
or
detailed,
1440.
Whatever you can do, whatever it's your phone, your whatever allows, maximize it, because there's lots of information on here. Sometimes it auto sets it to like 360 and it doesn't look the greatest. So friendly tip there.
So Travelers usually, and I think I say usually because I don't know if it's for every year, follows the US Open. I'm pretty sure it does every year, but here I can double check this really quick.
It's worth noting because the US Open is a grueling week. People would show up.
Absolutely worth noting. Like
would show up to the Travelers with
yeah, U.S.
mental-
Open in 2025, 2024 U.S. Open, 2023 U.S. Open, 2022 U.S. Open, 21 U.S. Open coming back from COVID. 2020, no, because this was the third event into COVID. But 2019, yes. 2018, yes. 2017, yes. 2016, no. So 2016.
Too far back. Anyway, I don't care about that far back.
Well, letting the audience know. Letting the audience know.
Fair, fine.
Okay, so now that we know that this minus 1 week when it comes to, again, lead-in stats at sweetspotdfs.com, we're looking at what their lead-in data was, whatever, for each of the golfers heading into the Travelers Championship, because that's how we're going to be looking for golfers this week. We're going to look at their lead-in data and try to determine, based off of how well they're playing, whether or not they're going to be in our lineups. So 2025, how do you want to do this? Do you just want to do a first big look and then hone in on the elite grouping?
We just kind of see what's kind of figuring out, kind of, I like this. I like starting with the strokes gained.
You want to do strokes gained?
Yeah. So you can just see, okay, like page by page, year by year, what the strokes gained numbers for these guys coming into the week look like.
Okay.
And then we can dive into recent form. And
I was going to actually
history.
note, I think this is one of those tournaments where course history matters a lot.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, we can start with strokes gained stats. So looking at
12 months.
Yep, 12 months. That's a proper way to do it. So looking at the 12 months leading in.
Lots of green.
Yeah, especially
Good
for
golfers.
strokes gained total and strokes gained tee to green.
Yeah.
I would say this. I do remember this used to be a Kevin Streelman tournament. He used to always show up and play well. Matt
Ches
Hughes
Reavie.
used to show up and play well here.
Yeah.
And those guys aren't known for being bombers, for one, but like ball striking mavens. They were short game specialists.
Yeah. Good wedge players. Good Manana guys.
Yep. But yeah, if you look at, I kind of only go down 6 golfers for the first little bit when I look at this, and just note, we got 2 guys that were negative on approach heading into this event. That's interesting. There's 3 guys that are break even or basically 0 off the tee. But look at that around the green. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Putting, pretty good also. Positive, at least. Some of it's like, 0, but let's just go year by year. Just like do a fast look at all of this. Only one bad approach player.
Striking, yeah,
this was a ball striking year for sure. But around the green still good, and still tee to green it in total. It's like your best. It's a signature event, so like the cream is going to rise to the top. Yeah. Was it a signature event in 23? I don't remember.
I think so.
That's when it started. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Cheers.
So.
Cheers, Reavie.
Yeah, and Zach Blair.
And Brian Harmon. Like if that doesn't tell you what kind of a golfer can thrive at this golf course, I mean, this is everybody on the cards. And
Ches Reavie had decent course history. Zach Blair did not, but the rest of these guys have decent course history. Denny McCarthy with bad course history, but another, short game specialist. The course, I believe, is only 6,900 yards. It might be it's somewhere between 67 to 69.
Yeah. And they just ripped it up a million times like a couple years ago to make it a little bit longer, and it just barely did anything. So it's still very short.
Let me see if I'll have this loading. Okay, that's 23, 2022. Wow. This was not a signature event in 2022.
No, Michael Thorbjornsen's debut.
There was a miscut, so it's not a signature event then. So we aren't seeing a lot of the best golfers with strokes gained total or tee to green at the top.
Yeah. So I think maybe, course history of the last 3 years matters a little more than prior.
Well, here, I'm really curious. I'm going to go stat by stat and just go down the line and just look at the best off the tee golfers and just do a rough, kind of count as to how many of these guys, finish inside the top 10. That's on the first page. We'll call this the first page without scrolling down. 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10 golfers. 2024. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 10 golfers. 2023, 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10 golfers. And then it doesn't so much matter 2022 and on, but I'm just going to do it just for the hell of it. You had Michael Thorbjornsen, which is kind of obvious. But 1, 2, 3 top 10s. You had a 13th place finish. Okay. 21, 2 top 10s. Still a good amount of green that's at the top. And this is strokes gain off the tee. I mean, nothing that's going to win you a GPP, I don't think. So that's worth mentioning. 2020, 2, 2019, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2018, a bunch. Holy crap. 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10s, but a lot of green. Off the tee, is that going to be our prerequisite here?
I don't know.
How much time do I have left with you, buddy? I've seen you yawn like 1,000 times now.
I'm getting there. I've got a headache, not gonna lie to you, but rocking and rolling. I'm happy to be here.
Good.
This is starting to stimulate me. And also this was all caffeine. So it'll be kicking in here shortly. Don't you stress.
Gotcha.
Off the tee stuff wasn't doing it for me though.
Strokes gained approach.
This might be where it's at.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 10, but that's a lot of green. 2024, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're like first, second, and thirds.
Yeah, no, it's where it's at.
2023, 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10s. Yeah. To see if there's any honorable mentions down below. 2022, 1 top 10. It's the winner. Did we have a winner in 23 that was up here? We did not, but we did in 2024. We did not have one in 2025.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
2021, we had 2 top 10. Hank Lebioda. Now this is a non-signature event. There's less in 2020. We did have a winner. We had Ches Reavie. Remember good course history? Yeah, he won. Forgot.
Shout out Ches.
1, 2, 3, 4 top 10s. 2018. 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10s. So I bet if I put a counter tally on this, or if I tallied this out, I think there's more off the tee successors than there were approach. Like there were 2 years where there were 5 or 6, inside the top 10.
Yeah.
With maybe a few more greens, but I get the sense that off the tee was a bit more successful than any of the other stats. Or approach, I should say, just approach. But I do want to see what around the green looks like too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in 2025.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 honorable mention Tony Finau. 2023, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2022, 1, 2. 2021, 1, 2. Winner, Harris English.
Yep.
2021. 2019, none. 2018, none. Wow. So,
as the tournament changed, the dynamic of the course,
when it was when it became a signature event, definitely around the green, it kind of pops out.
What would cause that? Well, I'm trying to think of
the best
Okay.
72 golfers in the field who has, of those 72, the best around the green golfers. I mean, look at this on the board right now or on the screen. 2023, there's half as many missed cuts as there are, there's just as many missed cuts than there are top 20s. Like, that's kind of insane.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I need to add a bigger summary to this. I know I've said it before, but I want to add
What you need, like correlations up there for leading stats, how they,
right.
Then you can just see. We don't even have to do this. You can just click the button and it'll tell you, okay, these were the leading stats that mattered the most coming into the week.
Right.
We'd save ourselves like an hour of podcasting every week.
You know what though? I think,
but also this is therapeutic.
Oh yeah, and I think it's I could tell people the stats, but they don't see the golfers or the stats that come with those golfers. So there is a level of maybe dishonesty or just untrustworthiness that comes with those stats. I'm kind of that way, Byron. If you tell me, putting matters more at this tournament than any other tournament, how so? Is it by fractions or is it, like, who are the golfers? If you told me it was like 10 of the top 10 golfers in the world make up those putting stats, I'm gonna be like, dude, don't even look at putting. Like, why are you looking at putting? That kind of stuff. Anyways.
Yeah.
It is very interesting to see. I don't even know with that many missed cuts. I'm kind of like, I don't know.
So I want to just honorable mention 2023 Ben James. Is that the same Benjamin James that's like showed up lately on our TVs?
Yeah.
This guy he's flashing, man.
And 23 must not have been a signature event if it has a cut.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. I don't know if this was it wasn't a signature event that year. I think they moved it to being a signature event.
Got it.
Because I think 2023 was when signature events began.
Yeah, that sounds right.
This is the 4th year of signature events.
I'm cruising through putting right now, Byron. 2021, it mattered. No years after 2021 really care about putting being a good stat coming into the event. It's definitely the worst of the statistics.
Yeah, no, that's an obvious stat that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
I do think the easiest correlation is going to be the course history side of things, Darbo. And then we can try and figure out the guys that are the course history guys.
Yep. Agreed. So should I just put a filter on this? Should we do our elite grouping and find our thresholds to filter by?
Yeah. Yeah.
So here it's 35.71 just for 2025. And then 30.
Okay.
2024. 44. Recent form 34.
35, yeah.
Or 35, yeah. Fine. Should have just kept it. Oh boy. Not a lot of people in 2023 having course history, but this one goes down to 38. Recent form goes down to 35. So it's like
it's bucket 2, bucket 1 for both.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we could just bucket 1, bucket 2 for sure. For both course history and recent form. I'd rather just do that.
Let's lean into what the show's about.
That's right.
If this was like an R-rated show, you could like change yours like to effort, bucket, let's bucket. Like I think that would be a fun.
Well, look at this. This looks pretty good. So if we filter by bucket 1, bucket 2, pretty good.
For what? For both?
Yeah, course history and recent form.
Yeah.
So they have to either be in course history bucket 1 or course history bucket 2, as well as recent form bucket 1 or recent form bucket 2.
It's 5 of the guys that were inside the top 6.
Yeah. It'd be the equivalent of, moving this to 40, moving this to 40. So it's 1 to 40, 1 to 40.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. and
2024.
it produced some good results.
Yeah. 2025, 5 of top 6 golfers.
Yeah.
2024, you get a first, second, third, ninth.
4. That's 4 guys. 2.
2023, we had 2 inside the top 10. 2022, again, these are not 2023 and beyond. These are not signature events. So do with that as you may.
Yeah.
But 2 top 10s in 2023, 2 top 10s in 2022, including a win. So now we have 3 of 4 years where there's been a winner that followed this recent form in course history. 2021, a 4th and a 5th. 2020, we don't really count.
COVID.
2019, a 5th and an 8th. 2018, a 2nd and a 9th. So when it became a signature event, it looks like 4 golfers at minimum have been inside the top 10.
Yeah. And
they're expensive.
6-ish inside the top 20, right? Like
yeah.
A lot. You can get like a full lineup that's inside the top 20, just
overlapping. 2025, the year of the 8K range. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Not so much in 24, but there's our boy Tom Kim. If he gets added to the field.
This is what I'm saying, is if he is, we'll see.
Actually, there was another 8K golfer. Holy shit. And 7,900. You almost could call that an 8K golfer.
Okay. So now, which one do we like? Do we want course history or recent, like if we were to lean? Because is recent form causing issues for us? Is course history causing some outliers? I want to dive into those two now.
Sure.
Versus like just, filtering on both. Maybe we can get
filter
a good
on
feel
one.
For...
Well, here's what we'll do. We'll go course history 1 and 2 and just look up here at the summaries. We don't really have to look at the golfers.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
25 total golfers, 4 inside the top 5, 7 inside the top 10. If you want to look at top 20s, we can, but there's 10. 2024, 18 total golfers, 4, 5, 7. 2023, 25 total golfers, 4, 5, 9. 2022, 24 golfers, 1, 4, 8. 2021, 34 total golfers, 4, 5, 10. 2020, there's 40 golfers. Good Lord. Let's skip 2020. 2019, 31 golfers, 3, 6, 7. 2018, 32 total golfers, 2, 6, 10. 2027, 3, 6, 10. 30 golfers. So that's course history. So averages, I would say, 3, 6, 7 kind of is like the average.
Yeah, I was seeing like 4 to 6. I was just like eyeballing the top 10 nonstop, and it's like 4 to 6.
Okay. So now we'll go back in the buckets, remove course history 1 and 2, and just put in recent form 1 and 2. And in 2025, 4, 7, 14. All right, already kind of promising here. 2024, 5, 7, 11. That's 27 total golfers. I forgot to mention 30 total golfers in 2025. 2023, 33 total golfers, 2, 6, 13. 2022, 23 total golfers, 1, 3, 8. 2021, 31 total golfers, 4, 4, 8. 2020, we just skip. 2019, 21 total golfers, 3, 4, 6. 2018, 18 total golfers, 2, 3, 7. 2017, 22 golfers, 4, 4, 7. So I'm not seeing that many more top 5s for recent forms. What did it look like for top 10s?
Also lower amounts. And it makes sense because this course rewards like shorter hitters, short game wizards. If you're coming into this week having just played a US Open and the Memorial, those are 2 courses that aren't necessarily going to reward a Ches Reavie, a Tom Kim. Yes, Tom Kim just finished, but at a typical US Open venue where it's like thick, heavy rough, narrow fairways, those aren't going to reward your guys that are like going to thrive here. So maybe you can weasel your way around a bit of recent form, in my opinion, if we're looking at the 2, because of the tournaments that we have coming into the week. We've had TPC Toronto now, where we've had Ryan Fox win that. Good driver of the golf ball, long hitter. What else? Who else did well at TPC Toronto last time? Bud Colley, Matt Fitzpatrick, Victor Hovland. So significantly less short game at TPC Toronto than you'd like. A lot of putting. So yeah, I think you can find some sneaky gems with the course history element, especially if you fade poor form on bad course fits coming in.
I will. The thing that I did note, or that I did see, is there were way more top 20s for recent form than there were for course history. So if you're looking for the top 20 market, looking for golfers that have good recent form coming in, I think is probably the proper way to look at it. You need some stocking stuffers, as you call it, or glue pieces to your lineups. You know, recent form wouldn't be the worst way to go about it. But also at the same time, when we had both filters on, we had almost similar numbers, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you are playing any golfer, make sure they have both good course history and recent form.
Yeah.
For your top fives, and top tens, I think that you do a core of 4 that way. And I think you're going to be brilliant when it comes to building lineups.
Love that.
Because let me look at these numbers again. 3-5. I mean, that's pretty freaking close to the 4-6 that we've normally been seeing. 3-4, not so great. 1-2, 1-2. All right. Well, now my whole thing just went down to whatever.
But these aren't the same tournaments. It's not the same field. It's not the same anything. It's a totally different set of different golfers coming in. Compared to the 2 signature events. The
agree.
2 signature events, I think we can lean into those. It's going to be a bit more smaller sample, but more noisy. But we can only play the data points we've been dealt.
Hey, the last 2 years it's been a signature event, meaning the best golfers in the world are playing this event, minus Rory McIlroy. Gonna throw that in there.
Drive by.
But yeah, it's like 11 and 10 total golfers. If you want to, like I said, a core of 4. I wasn't wrong when I said that. You can find your top 10s that way. So I guess let's mosey on over to here, Byron, and look at the Travelers Championship.
This is where just the whole episode just comes together. By the way, hit the like, hit the subscribe on both shows, Sweet Spot DFS on YouTube and Back 9 Bets, where you guys are watching. I've done a bad job, as you can tell. Like I'm a little low energy dealing with whatever, so I haven't been paying attention too much to the chat. JP Del Frio, good evening. I'm late, time to catch up. Is it crazy that Wyndham Clark is so on fire right now and a 2-time US Open champ from coast to coast? Yes. Did I answer that right?
Is it crazy? I don't know if it's crazy. I think this is very Wyndham-esque. We brushed up on this earlier.
We actually spoke about that, Joe.
Yeah.
Go be with JP Del Frio and catch up at the beginning of the show. Just kidding. Hang with us live. Jump to the back, whatever you're in the mood for. I think Sweet Spot does a bit more better with his timestamps on your show. I might just actually try and get a transcript and generate some timestamps for mine going forward. But to what we are looking for this week, our gems, recent form and good course history coming into the 2026 Travelers Championship.
So course history bucket here, Byron, isn't going to be changed by anything, but the recent form bucket will, based off of their results.
I'll have the US Open pulled up here for us too.
So if you can tell me Victor Hovland, I don't even know how Victor Hovland finished.
Mr. Cut,
so he's going to be out. So cut him off this list. Keegan Bradley
played well, top 20.
So he's situation. In. Min-Woo Lee.
No, T32 for Keegan Bradley.
Keegan will still be in. Min-Woo Lee.
I think he missed the cut.
So he's out.
Yeah.
Decky, did he finish like 40?
67th, 64th.
Oh, he's most likely out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's definitely out for sure.
Noren
Alex
missed the
Noren
cut.
missed the cut, right?
Yep. Henley played poorly. He finished outside the top 60 as well.
So he's out. Foxy,
T23. He's in.
the Fox is in. Xander's in. Rye is in. What did Eric Cole do?
MC. Oh, nope, that's Cole Hammer. MC Cole Hammer. Wow. Eric Cole. Did Eric Cole play the US Open?
I'm not sure.
I don't think he did. It's just Cole Hammer.
Well, let me put his
and
stats in
Hamilton
here.
Coleman.
So wait. Oh, Eric Cole did not play. Never mind. So Eric Cole's in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know even why I said his name. It doesn't even say he was playing.
we glitched it. It's just telling us. Everyone's screaming at us in the chat. It's like, it said he's not playing.
Fleetwood's in. Burns is in. Cantley with the missed cut is probably in. Yeah, he's got to be in. 85.
No, I mean, if you're at the top of this recent form pile, there's nothing is going to do that big of a deal to you.
Yeah, he's got to be in. So yeah, all these guys are in. So Victor's out, Keegan's in, Minwoo is out, Decky is out, Noren is out, Henley is out, but then Fox on up are in. All these guys, Fox on up are in, and then Keegan Bradley. That's it. Those are the only dudes.
Yeah.
I don't have a player thing to get rid of these other guys, but just remember Keegan's in. So, of the following golfers, Fox, Xander, Rye, Cole, Fleetwood, Burns, Cantley, Oberg, and Scheffler. I mean, what's Scotty's price tag going to be this week, Byron? You gander to guess?
Scotty Scheffler this week was 6 plus 600 to win the tournament and was 14.9 price wise at the US Open. So now he's plus 425, plus 400, which I think he's going to be right in that 14.5 range again. Maybe 14.3 and we don't get a 5K. Have we had signature events with Scotty and a 5K?
Not this year, I don't think.
But does it exist? Because surely there's just not enough people to make the math.
Signature 2026. There has not been a 5K range.
So I think he'll probably be like low 14s.
Well, here it is. This is the highest he's been in the price tags on the screen are the highest he's ever been this year is 14,300 at the Genesis.
Yeah.
So 14.4. Or do they drop him down? Do they drop him down?
I think somewhere around the 14, like 14.1, 14.2, 14. I wouldn't be shocked, whatever he is at Arnold Palmer Invitational. Where are we playing this week? Travelers. Scotty he's won this tournament, so the course history will be on his side as well again. He'll be in the 14s because he's won the API a couple times and was 14-1 there. So I don't know. I think he's right there.
I feel like
14.
they're going to make him at least 14,200. Like that's just what it's going to be.
Yeah, he's playing good golf, dude.
Yeah, and in the fact that he's been in these GPP winning lineups, and you can build really good lineups that would even be better than the GPP winning lineups with Scotty in them. He's got to play so poorly consecutively in a row, and it's like, it's so disappointing, Byron, that he can't get a win, but he's just He's still the best golfer in the world, and it's not even a question.
Where did Scotty finish? Who finished second this week? It was Burns, right? So
Yeah.
Burns just finished second. Tom Kim finished solo third. Scotty Scheffler is the worst. To find a worse putter down the leaderboard, you got to venture all the way down to Sahith Theegala at T11.
Oh my!
That's the next.
yeah.
And he lost half a stroke to the field, which was like a full stroke worse than Scotty Scheffler per round. So
Wow.
that's 4.
Wow.
So if Sahith Theegala just putts like Scotty Scheffler did, who was the second worst inside of the top 17, Sahith finishes solo third as the second worst putter in that bunch. Sahith just went to town on the ball striking. He plays those courses so nicely, but Scotty, second worst putter in that bunch. He only gained 2 strokes total putting this week.
Wow. Yeah, and I would say if there was, so his iron game isn't as sharp. He's also not making as many putts as he did last year. At least it feels like that. Maybe the stats bear that out differently. But he's still just freaking good. You know,
So
like
good.
DraftKings points wise, he's still top 5. Oh, the guy he's a machine. You know what? I think Scotty wins the Travelers. I think this course is just so easy for a Scotty Scheffler type of golfer. I don't see him losing it.
Well, yeah,
I know I'm not really going off the, it's not a big risk of saying that, but it's like the fact he hasn't won, including these limited field events, I think this is the one that he does it at.
You know what's really interesting, Darbo, is if we go and take a look. I'm looking at the approach numbers that I had for the US Open for the last 12 months. Scotty's been really struggling on approach with the wedges and with these long irons. This is just the last 12 months. If you go actually to the last little while, it's still the same kind of blueprint, but worse this year. He's still very good from 150 to 200, but he's bad with the wedges and he's bad with the long irons.
Insane.
This magic range inside of 200 to 150 is where he thrives. And, there's a decent amount of those shots at the Travelers. If you take a look at the general proximity buckets here, like he has 150 to 200, he has 125 to 150. These are tour average bench lines. You can see just the complete lack of long iron play required at this golf course, which is where Scotty's typically like, this is why Rory McIlroy doesn't come to this golf course.
Yeah.
It's because his secret weapon is completely nerfed. There's not a single shot.
That's hilarious. You said that.
From 175 to 200 and beyond, that's above tour average in proximity rate. You can clip that there for me, please, StreamYard. So yeah, you're looking for the mid-iron merchants this week. So funny that Rory doesn't come here. It makes complete sense, like you see, and also like distance. Look at, off the tee matters, but you got to keep your ball in play versus distance just got completely nerfed last year. The year before, same situation. It's accuracy over distance, like in a big, big way. Look at this. 125 to 175. It's just so predominant. Like if you are good from this range right here, just send it, So
Jeez. Rory's best finish is 7th place at this place. Or 6th place.
Exactly. For Rory not to have a top 5 at any golf course that he's played multiple times in his life it's unacceptable. But at this venue, it makes complete sense. He's batting left-handed at this golf course.
Yeah, I'm looking at course history from 2025. That was the last time he played, and Rory finished 6th that year. But if you go back 2025, well, that would have been 2025. 2024 didn't play, but then it was 7th, 19th, 11th, 12th, and 17th. So good finishes, Byron. Like good finishes, but not someone of his caliber. Yeah.
And the same goes for Xander. You know, if you think about what Xander Schauffele does, pounds driver, pounds mid to long irons, he separates himself 200 plus. You know, like I guess we can. I'll pull up here who's the 200 plus guys because they are like absolutely not the dudes that you know get to do their thing this week. So this is from the US Open. Tommy Fleetwood, John Rahm. So Tommy Fleetwood's actually really been struggling with his like everything inside of this is 2026, I think. So far, yeah, 2026. So guys that have been really good from 200 plus that aren't the greatest with the mid irons. Fleetwood, Fox, Ben Coles, Rio Satsune, Michael Brennan, Shipley, Zach Blair, Justin Thomas. It's actually been really struggling with the 100 to 150 to 200 range. Any other glaring names? Xander, I'm talking complete bullshit.
I mean,
but
in principle, I was going to agree with you.
But if we go to a longer sample size, maybe I am not for Xander Schauffele because he's actually kind of regressed a little bit in that department, hasn't he? Interesting. This is what happened after his injury. He's kind of just lost his. This was his like game-changing ability was from 200 plus. You know, he was super, super, super talented there. But now he's like really good from this range, which this week, you know, to me, if you're getting so many of those opportunities, I think I'm in the mood. But again, this box concerns me. Do we have okay, let's look at wedges as well. Sorry. Wedges playing this week, not Patrick Reed. Hovland makes tons. So Hovland makes so much sense for this golf course. Should I just filter on the top 35, top 40?
Sure.
For
WGR?
No, for strokes gained buckets. For the various things. Yeah. Google Sheets. Sometimes I just get committed to a bad idea. Okay. These guys don't have data, so we'll leave them alone. Okay, so there we go. No. Come on, I can do this. I can have everyone on the screen at the same time. There we go. So guys that are inside the top 40 from 100 to 150 and from 150 to 200. We don't really care about 200 plus this week. Cantley, Reed. Oh, Jesus. Let me read the guys that are playing this week.
Stop right there with Cantley. He's got the best course history. Yeah. If you combine course history and recent form, never mind. Scotty's going to win, but he's like second best in the field.
Like, but isn't it cool when the course history reveals itself to you? Why? What is Cantley doing good right now? Well, what needs to play well at this golf course, right? He's been really struggling with these long irons.
Holy shit, yeah.
He's barely going to have to hit them this week. He's very good from, remember, the Travelers Championship. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah, these are the two columns that we filtered on right now. So, like, it makes complete sense. But I also want to divulge one thing with Patrick Cantley is if you go take a look at what he's just got up to, everyone's going to glom onto course history. And there's a good chance I fade him this week, but we'll see. He's been good at a lot of golf courses like FedEx St. Jude, like Memorial, those kind of places that he just hasn't showed up to this year. Again, but whatever. We're getting distracted. Other names in this range, Aaron Rai checks. I mean, he's dominant, top 7 for both.
He's in that elite grouping.
Yep. Russell Henley,
He's out now, but close.
Corey Connors,
Nope.
Jacob Bridgman, Hideki, Akshay, Scotty, Nikolai Højgaard, Shane Lowry, Ryan Gerard.
Also interesting, Matt Fitzpatrick. Oh, he just doesn't. His course history must not be that great at this event.
Yeah, no, he's also ridiculously good from 200 plus.
That is ridiculously good.
And then everywhere else solid. Kurt Kuriyama checks a couple boxes actually, considering you'd think with his length he's a much better long iron guy, but he's actually very good with these like mid irons. He could club down, find a lot of success. I think he might be someone to look into.
So, just to throw this out there, the only 3 golfers, actually the only, well, you didn't talk about Scotty, but the only 3 golfers that were at the top of your list so far that are in the elite grouping are Scotty, Cantlay, and Aaron Rai. That's it. Victor Hovland just barely misses it because he had a poor U.S. Open. Hideki Matsuyama's going to miss it because he had a poor U.S. Open. The elite grouping I'm talking about, the elite grouping, like they're not going to be in it, but they're on top of your list.
Yeah.
So can you actually pull your list back up? Just want to double check. And Victor Hovland down there too, by the way. So yeah, Victor Hovland's another golfer that just misses the elite grouping, but is on your list. So there's those 3 golfers that technically could be, but are not.
Okay, so let's go. Patrick Cantlay, Aaron Rai, and Scotty are like green for both.
Yep.
You said Victor, Decky.
Victor, Decky, Henley, and Hovland. Oh yeah, you got him.
Hovland, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, those guys, there you have it, you know.
Yeah, those are the 6 golfers that have really good course history and really good recent form, and we've identified in the last 2 years that having, you know, being in bucket 1 and 2, or 1 or 2 in either course history and or recent form. I should say or. You have to be in both. Those guys finished inside the top 10. So we've got 6. I mean, obviously we don't talk about Hovland, Henley, or Matsuyama in this situation, but Cantlay, Ryan, and Scheffler, we can chalk Scheffler up to a top 10. I think it's just going to happen. You know, like.
Yeah, exactly. At this course in particular, it's going to help him even more. I mean, it's his biggest weakness is getting nerfed, you know, like, so.
The moon would have to crash into the earth in order for Scheffler not to finish inside the top 10.
Okay. I'm trying to can I sell my house first?
No, sure. Yeah. Get your money, buddy. Get your money.
Okay.
But yeah. See, crazy. I don't see Eric Cole up there. I don't see Ludwig. I don't see Burnsy, Fleetwood. Is Xander up there? I don't see Xander.
No. Xander's not in it.
Holy shit. And Ryan Fox isn't up there. Keegan? I don't see Keegan up there either.
No. Do we want to do the same for just this year? See if that changes things up a smidgen?
Sure.
Kind of
why not?
Change the sample size a little bit. Less than 41. This is, again, not including US Open results.
Data.
Less than 41. I'm also in the middle of having an allergy attack here, so excuse the deep voice. Okay, which one do we want to filter on? 150 to 200 again?
Yeah.
Okay, so Patty and Taylor Montgomery don't have any data. Just ignore them for now. Our guys, Siwoo Kim, Adam Scott, Aaron Rai, Kurt
Aaron Rai is one.
Yep. There's Xander. Showing up this year.
Yep.
Sepp Straka, Hideki, Matt Fitzpatrick, Russell Henley, Davis Thompson, Daniel Berger, Victor, Nick Taylor.
Wow. None
Gerard.
of the golfers that. Oh, there's Cantlay. So Cantlay works.
There. His mid irons have taken. You see, so this is interesting to note.
Yep.
He's dominant
in the last year.
He's not dominant with the wedges over the last year. He's still pretty solid with the wedges, but it's borderline not making this bucket here from the 150 to 200 and beyond.
But still is. Still
is, but borderline.
Yep.
Worth noting. Tom Kim checks both those buckets, so he did exceptionally well to survive a bit of a long iron endurance variety last week.
And
so
Eric Cole's not going to be in here because this is the U.S. Open, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So Eric Cole's the only golfer that's not going to be included in trying to compare. But it's fine. We don't have to really worry about Eric Cole right now. But he is a short ball hitter.
He's a short ball hitter that's been putting so well lately.
Yeah. So he does fit the mold of past performers that have played well here. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple of these guys really featuring. Obviously, this should be, but I like Aaron Rye's chances right now.
Yeah. And in your last, the strokes gain approach last 12, you highlighted Victor, Henley, and Matsuyama orange because they're falling out of the elite grouping. Those three are in your strokes gain approach 2026 model. The only golfer that you highlighted green in the strokes gain approach L12 was Aaron Rye. I don't see Scotty up there.
No.
Oh, and Cantlay. It's Aaron Rye and Cantlay. Those are the only two golfers that show up in both of those. But the Hovland, Matsuyama, and Henley.
Here's the 6. Sorry,
Henley's just below Matsuyama, by the way.
Oh Jesus, there's the 5. Can't see. So who's the missing guy?
Scheffler, Scotty.
Scheffler. Well, this year he's not. It's going to be the wedges. That's definitely not going to get him in, because he's fine between this range. Where are you, Marcel?
He was right in the, yep.
Yeah. So it's the wedges. It's the wedges for him.
Oof, bad, real bad.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he struggles when he's missing really badly with wedges when he's missing fairways as well.
And he's not putting good enough to make up for those wedges being poor from 100 to 150.
Yeah.
Because 100 and 150 being ranked 66th, all that's really saying, especially when he's not like finishing first or whatever, his 66th ranking, I bet you anything, his wedges are going to 20 feet away instead of going to 15 feet away.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the difference of being 66th ranked versus top 10.
Yeah.
But that's a huge difference when it comes to putting. And that's how these strokes gain stats work out is you had a 20-foot putt. That's going to be like 0.7 strokes harder to make those putts than having a 10-foot putt. So it just adds up over time. You're going to have in like 10 putts that you have that are 20 feet away, you're going to make maybe 3 of them. Whereas if you had 20 10-foot putts, you'll make probably 7 of them.
7. Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. Right. That is just the thing. And he's always been so damn good at hitting it to pin high.
Dude,
he's spinning balls off of the front of greens now.
Oh, that sounds like Rory. Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, Rory is one of those guys. He's like that Ferrari, or you see those videos of the Lamborghinis. The guy like spins off, he looks good, and then by the time he hits second gear, he's crashed his fender into the side of the street. Like he just can't control it, and it's bizarre. He did not finish top 30 this week, and was insane. A definite contender at one point during the
after round 1. I thought he was inside the top 10.
Yeah, he just didn't have it. It's kind of bizarre with his situation. So that's what's going on with these guys when it comes to Wheels Up's also in on Tom Kim this week, but
he kind of said that same question in my chat. So put it back up. What did it say?
I love Tom Kim this week. Who's the one guy everyone will want to play by the end of the week, but you'll be proud to fade.
Yeah, he asked that same question to me.
Cantley for me. What about you, Dabo?
Good question. Let me look at the field because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
For me, I think the course history is going to guide people to Patrick Cantley in a monstrous way. And, like we've seen, he barely made the top 40 boxes for those two spots there. Doesn't quite have the same iron play as he had coming in for the mid irons. And the results have just been middling lately. He's not going to give you a top 5 finish at a course like this for the ownership he's going to be coming in at.
I'll make the stream. I already swore on it anyways. Never mind. I was going to say, I'm going to make the stream PG-13. I'm going to say I'm going to be a slut for all of these guys. I don't know how I can't play all of them. I'm not going to fade Cantley like you.
Okay. Well, I might not. Maybe you can convince me to be a different person, but we'll see.
But I think, okay, maybe Cam Young, but his question was posed like everyone will want to play by the end of the week. So I think they're going to see a lot of the same things we're talking about. So it's like, ooh, Henley seems like a good play here. Fitzpatrick seems like a good play here. Whatever. Maybe not so much Fitzpatrick, but I just don't see how he's going to play poorly at this course. It's like Bobby Mack is the first name that I'm like, I don't want to play Bobby Mack, but is anyone going to really want to play him by the end of the week? No. We're talking about like high ownership guys, and Chris Gotterup would be one, Bobby Mack would be one. These are just golfers I would fade, but I don't think anyone else is going to be like, oh, these are golfers that we need to play. I don't know, man. You got a great answer in Cantley, because I think, yes, Cantley is going to definitely pop up and on most people's models, and people are going to want to play him. I don't know. I can't.
Hovland is going to pop, I think.
Yeah, I rightfully so. So I wouldn't say I'd want to fade him.
But he makes sense, I wouldn't be, if you can find the niche spots in someone's profile, who are the bad iron players right now that we just identified now as poor approach play? Let's do this. If you go okay, these are the guys that check all the boxes, but these are the guys that are the worst long iron guys. So at a course like this, these are the guys that you're going to find the best increase and improvement in their play based off of how the course suits their irons. Davis Thompson, Jacob Bridgman, Tom Kim, Kirkiyama, Akshay, Henley, Hovland, Nick Taylor is very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. Is he playing this week? We'll see. Aaron Rye, obviously. Decky, Cantley. But we're starting to get to the same rankings over here now. So these guys at the top. I mean, Davis Thompson as a first-round leader seems very interesting. Jacob Bridgman is starting to find his feet again a little bit. And I like Kurt Kitayama. I mean, he's pathetic from outside 200. So that's kind of what I'm vibing with there.
You're the worst approach players heading into this for the last 12 months. And none of these guys, I feel like anyone's going to be like, oh, we got to play these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the slightest clue as to maybe Justin Thomas. If people clam onto him and his ownership gets over 20%, that's a guy I don't mind fading.
Can Sam Slevens, one new nickname for him. Sam Slevens. Have you seen that man? He wears sleeves that make him look like he's got biceps that are 4 inches long.
He also just looks, his age has been accelerated. He's 20 some years old. He looks like he's near Champions Tour.
Yeah. He's the guy you hear at the beginning of a drama movie that starts setting the scene for a very hard-earned life that you're about to witness for the next 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then it pans to the person that's speaking, and then it's there's Sam Stevens, the 45-year-old looking 29-year-old, with sleeves longer than his pants. And it's just incredible. But let's get to some course history. We haven't done enough course history stuff yet. I want to just really dial in
Hey,
on some guys'
actually,
course history.
maybe Keegan Bradley's my guy that I'll fade this week. He obviously loves this place, plays well here normally. Last year, he was coming in with really good approach, won the event. This year, he's coming in with pretty not great approach.
Keegan Bradley is 40th from 100 to 150, and he's 70th from 150 and beyond. So he's really struggling with those mid-irons right now on approach. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a guy that I could see finishing outside the top 10, which you're going to need guys inside the top 10 in order to take down a GPP. I know that's, not a hard thing to say with 70 golfers in the field, but this is a course that a lot of people that he has played well. He loves this place, right? This is his like almost hometown, venue. So I'm going to fade him. I'll fade this guy, Logan.
What does Keegan Bradley's approach play look like over the last 7 weeks, though?
It's positive. 0.383.
Yeah. See, he's one of these guys where it's like he's sneakily.
And it was better than it was last year with the last 7 weeks heading into the event.
Yeah. And I mean, you struggled a little bit today, but I think coming from a New York major to where's this? Cromwell, Connecticut.
Yep.
The vibes. He is going to, dude. Thank God it wasn't him versus Wyndham Clark in the final group today. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been a murder scene because he would have definitely been the crowd favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Not that Scotty wasn't, but you know what I'm saying.
I'll actually say
local guy.
Keegan, even though he has good approach, his strokes gain total and even tee to green is just awful.
Yeah.
0.557 compared to last year. He was at 1.479 and 1.382. Like he was ball striking the face off the golf ball.
Yeah. Just not driving it well right now. And you
not driving it well. His iron play is last 7 weeks. It's okay. It's good, but that's also because of his pour off the tee.
That's fair. It's worth noting Emiliano Grillo ranks 41st in both categories for the 100 to 150, 150 to 200. There's a couple guys that ranked ahead of him, obviously, that won't be playing this week. Also, some good vibes, after a solid. Can we also, I'm sorry, I need to check off these two things before we go. We got a double, and I'm not saying go now. I'm just before we log off at any point tonight. I need to know what the week before did for these guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the US Open. I think if there's any tournament that you want to take a peek at, like, especially that they're forcing these guys to do it.
Yeah.
After, I'm curious, like, what the results are. Like, bad US Open finishes, do they translate to like bad travelers or
well,
let's see just the last 2 years or so.
Yeah. It looks to be, especially if we're only looking if you're just looking at top 10s, I mean, 3 missed cuts, 3 top 20s, and 3 finishes between missed cut and top 20.
Yeah.
With one guy not playing. That could be Eric Cole.
Yep.
2024, Scotty finished 41st at Pinehurst. It was a 26, 2 missed cuts, 2 top 10s, another missed cut, another top 20. So it's kind of the same song and dance. 3 missed cuts, 3 top 20s, although technically there's a 4th top 20. And 13th place, I guess, has a couple good finishes too. So it's kind of just a mixed bag, dude.
Go back to 25 for me quickly. And I mean, when 24 was at Pinehurst, and what was it? I think Pinehurst was not nearly as maybe it was, I don't know. It wasn't as grueling as Oak Mountain and Shinnecock. Pinehurst was a bit more gimmicky.
Yeah.
Whereas these other two courses have just been kicking dicks in, like nonstop.
Sure.
Whatever.
I don't hate
But
it.
still, US Open venues.
Yeah.
Okay.
There'd be more traveling involved going to those other places, though, if you think about it. Just a little bit more. Maybe not Oakmont, not so much, but Pinehurst.
Yeah.
Not that that's a huge deal. Yeah, and then if we go even further back than that, actually US Open in 2023 looked to be good indicator. The one that Wyndham won. So hey, if you want a correlation, LACC, Shinnecock, Clark wins both of those US Opens. One missed cut. That was Keegan Bradley. But he was coming in with good. Oh no, this is a different year. Never mind. That was a different year that he won. Ooh, let's see what he was coming in with. Ooh, approach was pretty bad. Almost the same as he's coming in this year with. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, well, there goes my argument of not wanting to play Keegan Bradley this week.
Yeah, he's interesting. You can't not, I'd go Keegan over Cantley if I were to pick like a course history guy this week.
Oh, what was our bet last week? It was someone against somebody. Did you have Rose and I had someone else?
Yeah. I'm liking my chances for who it was. Rose versus it wasn't JT, was it?
It was a similar price tag. And then I also think I said Adam Scott versus somebody, and I don't remember who it was, but I'm sure I lost that one.
Ooh, I like that. Wouldn't have been Adam versus Rose. Maybe it was. I don't think I would have remembered that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a fair bet. I just don't remember who it was.
You can just pay me for it now.
I'll get you a beer next time I see you.
Which maybe never, the way my life's going right now.
Okay, busy guy.
Okay, so the recent week before that,
let me fire through these. There's a lot of top 20s from the US Open that finished well. Not 2020, that doesn't count. Not so much in 2019, 2018, not so much. 2017, yeah, good handful. I will note there's been a missed cut from the US Open that looks to have finished well.
Mm-hmm. That's more so what I'm looking for is like, how did the guys who struggled, was it the guys that had to play all 4 weeks that like found themselves in hell? Like Hideki and Henley? Or did they just kind of struggle because they weren't burning the oil, burning the candles? Like what kind of golfer are we targeting or not targeting?
Well, when it comes to missed cuts from the US Open, it's our totals, top 10s. You have at least 3 for a large chunk. In the last 2 years, we've had at least 3. 21 total in 2025, 25 total in 2024, and 3 apiece finishing inside the top 10.
So 10% of the field that missed cuts.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to tell this week. Shoot, that sucks.
Who missed the cut?
I wish I could show you who all missed the cut. Then we can, Yeah, tomorrow this will be updated, and then you'll be able to see.
Naren, English, Straka.
But I mean, I would just want to look at the golfers that did miss the cut and then pick 3 out of them that, seems to make sense.
Yeah.
Fair. Well, we'll do that in my stream Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Yeah. We'll look at that stuff.
Okay, now course history. Let's see, like, who are our course history guys?
Do you want me to just go top to bottom or finish by finish?
I want to see just the best course history and like what their prior finishes were.
We'll go like this. Well, I don't know if this is the best way to look at this.
No, I was thinking for this week, like just who's
Oh,
popping. Like, sorry, it's
gotcha.
taking me a while for my brain to function. Yeah, there we go, like this.
Oh, and then we'll look
This,
at course
yeah, there we
history.
go. There, yes, yes. Okay. So Bobby Mack, it's good course history, but it's not inspiring. Jesus, can you see that Cantley 12th? You know, like it's not exactly what you're looking for, but Jesus, that's undeniably good.
And it really comes down to price tag. If he's
Yeah.
gonna be over, say, $9,200, a 13th place finish or worse, or even 11th place
Yeah.
finish or worse,
Yeah.
probably isn't going to get it done for you to make money unless it's a cash lineup and it just it just min cashes or whatever. So I'm there with you. Nothing this year even remotely do I think he's going to, have success in winning this event.
Brian Harmon is insane here. Like that is more than Patrick Cantley, in my opinion. I mean, that's another guy that I'd go to instead of Cantley. This is insane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of his last 9 finishes here have been top 10s.
That is pretty insane.
Am I counting that? Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 of 8.
7 of 8.
Jesus.
Looks like there's one more finish in 2013, which was the third. Oh, 2015 is the third place. I'll
this
keep
has
it like
to be
this.
This has to be one of the best.
I imagine if you remove those missed cuts, that course history is probably underneath 20. He's probably up. He might be above Matt McIntyre at 16.5. And he's got years, every year since 2013, he's played this event.
Yeah, he's got it. This is insane. I wonder what the best strokes gained. I mean, this has to be on the all-time, especially for like 10 plus events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a huge sample size. And if you just go to the last 7, that is like, dude.
I want to look at something real quick. I want Travelers and River Highlands. Oh, I still have US Open selected. And why is this not showing up? Why is this not showing up? Oh, I don't have a year selected.
There we go.
Okay, I was hoping to see like off the tee and approach. This is kind of what I was looking at. Is I wonder why Harmon, being a lefty to draw the golf ball, would be so good here. But
for me, when I notice that it's a negative correlation for almost like barely meaningless to have distance, and have extreme accuracy.
Yeah, Harmon was like one of the first names you thought of.
That's like an immediate Harmon spiker.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're not hitting too many long irons either, you're just hitting Harmon specials, Pete Dye. I don't know how Harmon is on bent, Po Anoa, but it makes tons of sense for him. How straight you have to hit the golf ball, yeah. There's no draws and fades and needed. It's just.
It also makes sense as to why Cantley does so well here. Cantley is really good on Pete Dye golf courses.
Yeah.
I wonder if Harmon is too.
Like the courses that challenge you mentally, the puzzle.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Rai.
Oh yeah, Aaron Rai, absolutely.
Do we want to also do some guessing of salaries as well?
Sure.
Oh, I'm scrolling for Aaron Rai and not seeing his name yet.
You'd have to bring up the odds board, I think.
76 to 1. Look at this. I mean, he's playing really well right now.
JT Poston's odds are better than Aaron Rai's.
Yeah. Now,
Holy.
JT barely.
Still, Aaron Rai should be like 30 something to 1.
Yeah. Jacob Bridgman having longer odds. Alex Noren. Nikolai Højgaard.
Yeah.
Adam Scott. Victor. JJ. Keegan at 49 isn't terrible.
Jake
either.
Knapp.
Jake Knapp, yeah. Minwoo, Bobby Mack, Bobby Mack and Minwoo having longer odds than Aaron Rai has been
Bobby Mack makes more sense than Minwoo, in my opinion. Just based off of Bobby Mack has a 16th and a 17th place finish here.
Yeah, but also that's like his best finish. That he would have done anything for a 17th place finish in the last 2 months.
Yeah,
So I think that's interesting. Kurt Kitayama at 46-1 is fascinating for me this week. Okay, so salary wise, Scotty, we're gonna think is in that like lower 14K range. Then we just jump straight to like 15-1, which will be in the tens, which will be Xander, probably like 10-1. Right? Cameron Young. Maybe Cameron Young is 10-1, Xander's 9-9.
Is plus 1,000 like the $11,000 mark? Or say 10-1? I would
say 20-1.
20-1
is the end of the 9K range type situation.
20-1 is the end of the 9K.
Maybe, yeah. Whereas like the 10K range is kind of contextually based. What it determines, is there a big name at the top, like a 41 Scotty Scheffler? Because then, all of these guys get shoved down into the mid-teens over here. Whereas if there's no Scotty, Xander's probably sitting at like 10-1 and priced $11,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But now just because Scotty's in the field, he's priced at like 10K flat, like $1,000 cheaper probably. So it's weird. It's like a weird balancing act between like who's at the top of the board versus. But I would say, yeah, anyone that's like 15-1 and shorter is probably like warranted for a 10K spot. Definitely anything in the teens, 20-1 and beyond is like 8K range. Wyndham was just what, $7,800 at the US Open. Colin could be an 8K option. Played well.
So Memorial, Scotty was 13-5, Rory was 11-5, Cam Young was 10-3, Oberg was 10-1. I'm just looking at past signature events and just seeing what the prices were. So that was Memorial. That was the last one. The one before that was RBC, I think, or Cadillac. You had 13-6, 10,002. That's what I feel like this week is going to be. Is like, this is Xander, 10,002. And then Scotty's going to be like 14,000 something.
Scotty Scheffler to win the Memorial was plus 310, 3-1.
Oh, okay. He was 13,600. That was it.
Okay, so that was that price. Then the Cadillac, we're kind of showing off all our tools at the same time. So this is what you can use on the Model Maniac side of things. Did not play the Cadillac.
Okay,
but he played RBC, right?
No, he played the Cadillac. I have him as playing the Cadillac.
I wonder if why is he? Oh yeah, he did because he finished second. Why is he not showing up yet? Interesting. It's showing like populating at like 315. So weird. Oh, I need to probably click his name. There we go. So yeah, 3-1 again. What was he at the Cadillac?
13,600.
Yeah. So I mean, now he's 4. So I mean, we could see Scotty closer to 13.
What was he at RBC? Since you've got, I'm just going to give you the names.
Yeah, RBC, RBC Heritage, Scotty. Did he play the RBC Heritage? Yes, he did.
Unselect your table bets. I think you have.
What am I doing? Yeah, I'm just going to go back to Scotty.
So I think you had drilled down and.
I'm messing around with some stuff and doing. Okay, RBC. Heritage
2026.
Yeah, you're right. So I think I'm clicking in. Let's just do this. Okay, there we go. Scotty to win at the RBC Heritage over the last couple of years. In 2026, he was 4-1.
So that's the
Plus
same, and
380.
he was 13.5. So I guess we could make the assumption that he isn't going to be $14,000.
Maybe he's probably going to be closer to 13.
Yeah, 13.6, I guess. 13, because that's 13.5, 13.6 at odds that are better than the odds you're showing right now.
Yeah. So that being said, then it would mean that Xander and the boys could be pushed closer to the 11K range than we were expecting as well.
That's a lot of people that are so close to each other, you know, like 17.5, 18.5, then 19. I think 19 to 1, that's probably gonna start the 9K range. So you're gonna have Xander, Cam Young, and Burns. I think Xander at that price tag would tell me he's gonna be like 10.6, 10 whatever. Then Cam Young will be like 10.1 and Sam Burns will be 10,000.
Yeah. Tommy 9.9, Ludwig 9.8, 7, 9.5, 9. I don't know. I guess probably go 200 yard, whatever. But I would probably imagine Siwoo, Mav,
AK range.
Cantley starting the AK range.
Yeah.
I mean, if Cantley's in that AK range, it's going to be.
Yeah. This is the 8K tournament, by the way. We just saw the last 2 years AKs dominating.
Yeah. So that's going to be very interesting to see.
Who was our guy down here in the odds? You were scrolling down, and I remember we were like, oh, he's better or he's worse odds than Poston. Who was the guy down below?
Oh, it was Rye.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's no way he's going to be priced like that, right? He's got to be in the AK range. This has got to be the biggest discrepancy, right?
What has Rye's prices been lately?
You want me to look at Rye?
Yeah, like what has he been priced at lately? Win wise, this year Aaron Rye hasn't been priced shorter than 35 to 1. Sony Open, Myrtle Beach, Cognizant Classic, all of them early in the year.
35 to 1.
Yeah, that was his shortest at the Sony.
So and Memorial, he was $7,500,
and he was 72 to 1.
So that's the right where he's at, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is he, 76 to 1? Is that what it's? Yeah, 76 to 1.
Yeah. So I mean, that seems like a very
What was he at Pebble?
290 to 1.
Oh my God.
PGA Championship.
That's insane.
250 for the Masters. Insane.
10. Okay, so at Pebble Beach, he was 140 to 1. So Pebble Beach, he was priced at $7,100. So
I guess
what a weird discrepancy. So it's like 72 to 1, he's 7,500, and then 140 to 1, he's 7,100.
Yeah.
The Genesis, do you have that? I don't see the Genesis. Oh yeah, there it is. He was 165 to 1 there.
Yeah.
He was $6,500.
So that's trending, So, and again, these could be closing or opening odds as well.
Oh, gotcha.
They're probably closing odds, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Which we probably want to look at opening odds for the DK pricing because of that's when the odds are relevant to when they drop the pricing as well, right? So, but at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked to see Aaron Rye actually get shoved into this 50 to 1 range right around like Adam Scott to be priced ahead of Aaron Rye right now to win a golf tournament doesn't make any sense to me either. So I think Aaron Rye should probably be a little bit further up here. We'll see. But interesting to see Darbo for Aaron Rye.
Agreed.
Other names like Kirkiyama at 46 to 1. 50 to 1 is probably what? Right around that like 7K range.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't really I pay attention to kind of the top price, and then when you tell me the 9 where the 8K range starts, you're pretty dead on, like spot on. So we would just count down 10. Actually go up to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
So
I'm very antsy. I'm sorry.
So
Scotty.
Burns and up are 10Ks. So we'll start 19, and we just count down 6 golfers.
Yeah.
Include McNeely then, because it's 6 or 7. So yeah, that's your 9K range. It starts with Cantlay in the 8K range. At 8,900.
Patrick Cantlay.
And it's going to be 10 of these guys.
Cantlay, JT, Goddard, Henley, Griffin, English, Kitayama, Spieth, Bobby Mack. Then we got $7,900.
I think Bobby Mack is also $7,900 because not all the time are you going to have that perfect 10 golfers or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think in these signature events, they do it just slightly different where it's not a perfect 6 to 7 9s. Sometimes it's 5 to 6 and then it's 10. So I think at Bobby Mack is the start of the 7K range. So nearly 50 to 1. You're pretty close to that as well.
Yeah. I mean, ballpark land for sure.
And Rose being $7,800 fits in exactly with Justin Rose's brand. He's always $7,800.
Yeah. And I mean, Rose just had a T11 at the US Open. I'm not going to overreact to that. It is the US Open, Justin. And shout out Justin Rose on bucking. This is like his first top 40 in a US Open in like the last half a decade.
That's pretty good, yeah.
You
After
know what I'm
winning
saying?
it,
Like he's been struggling at them a little bit lately, and he did some good work. He's been on fire lately. I'm quite proud of how he's been playing in majors. The old guy's got it. But not gonna freak out about that. I love Fitzy's interesting because now we finally get to a golf course that like he's just been playing like long, hard. But again, he drives the ball fantastic. Yeah, super accurate driver.
I liked him at the U.S. Open too, and he played pretty well.
Patrick makes a lot of sense to me.
Ain't that crazy though? Like Alex Fitzpatrick obviously was playing pretty well on the DP World Tour before he and his brother won the Zurich. To be that, he's been excelling since he's been on the PGA Tour. To not be on the PGA Tour and only getting in because your brother helped you get in, not saying that it was just his brother. Obviously, Alex played good enough too. But now that he is in and he's playing as well as he does, it shows you like the thin margin of getting on the PGA Tour and being good enough to be on the PGA Tour. Like those could be just, they're not mutually exclusive, I guess. Like they're kind of one and the same, but it just shows how many good golfers are out there that could be on the PGA Tour that are not.
Exactly. That is just it shows you like to have what they had a Golf Channel series about this, the big break. Like that's what you need, is like one big break. Fitzy obviously won the Euro Indian Open on the DP World Tour right before winning the Zurich with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
But he might have been wasting his really good form that he's in right now on the DP World Tour until he got his top 10 card, comes over, has to go and slog it out in the Sony, which RIP actually not even happening. So has to wait till the Amex in 2027.
And by the way, yeah, and kind of what you're getting at, he's hot now. Yeah. Just like all those other DP World Tour golfers, they get hot around this time. And then they have to wait a whole calendar year to get over to the PGA Tour over a long-ass winter and then just pick it up. And then the first 3 months of events don't go your way. You're probably pretty dejected, and that probably wanes on you.
Well, you're not playing any signature events. Then you get to the point where you get to this part of the schedule where there's like Masters. It's like API, Players, Masters, RBC Heritage, Memorial, that stretch where if you haven't played well enough to get yourself into those events, then you've only got to play for like the first 2 months of the season. Then it gets into like this major season and you're getting to play the RBC, the Zurich, the Myrtle, then you're playing there all of a sudden. You're back to the DP World Tour rotations. Life can suck, man, so like getting a good break like that really and capitalizing on it was really impressive of Alex. And, made a big putt on the last hole, which I wish his brother did to finish top 20, but did not. So, yeah, Alex Fitzpatrick finished one behind his brother at US Open.
Yeah. Playing good golf.
Yeah. So we're out on Russell, you think?
No.
But he's still going to be. I mean, look at this value for someone that just won at Colonial, which is a very similar kind of a venue. Do you think Russell was burning the candle on both sides to just try and grind out whatever he was doing? I mean, he shot 80. Fuck, dude. He fucking shot 80.
You know what Russell I feel like Russell's the type of golfer that when the wind goes from like 10 miles an hour to 14 miles an hour, that's when he starts like twitching, like, I can't deal with this.
It's when he shot 80.
And then when it gets over 14, he's just absolutely he's out of it.
Yeah.
I think at Cromwell, where there isn't a lot of wind usually during the Travelers, I think he's going to eat this place up. And by the way, this could just all be recency bias. It could also just be a bad memory of mine to think that Russell doesn't play good in the wind. I just don't think he's a good wind player.
I mean, you might be very right. I mean, if you look at the last 4 rounds he's played, the worst one was in the windiest conditions.
Yeah.
So, and it was an 80. Freaking 80.
Mm-hmm.
I basically locked him into my lineups in Showdown, and he scored -1.5 points.
Oh, yeah, that's brutal.
Anyway, it looks like we've got a bit of a wave advantage developing, Davo.
Well,
I'm
that's that way.
joking. But it does look like the wind's picking up in the afternoon on Thursday and on Friday morning and dying down.
Well, if he's
on Friday,
he's PMA, he's cooked.
You never know. But again, there's lightning involved here. This could easily shift to this, and then the guys get this, which looks like this, which is like that. So who the heck knows? But it does look like we can see some exceptionally low scores coming this week when it comes to some precipitation and minimal wind in Cromwell, Connecticut this week. So there's your weather report brought to you by the KCCI boys here in Iowa. Anything else we want to chat about, my friend?
Nope. I don't think so. I think we covered. Pretty good, man.
Okay.
Good recap, good preview. It's a signature event. Sky Scheffler's going to win. So, don't put any bets in. Just don't do it.
For the people that have just been like having us on in the background, not really paying attention to what we've been saying, how would you summarize what we're expecting, or what kind of strokes gain stats are you looking for golfers coming into this week? And then course history versus
ball striking. I would say don't be afraid of playing quote unquote bombers because of strokes gained off the tee. I think a lot of people accidentally combine the two or think that the two are the same. Which sure, most of the time it is, but think, what I've seen, just us going through this, off the tee is not a stat that you have to worry about, or at least thinking that guys with good off the tee stats can't do well here. But at the same time, approach seems to be on the top always. Just ball striking in general is kind of what you're going to want to look for. And course history. Course history seems to be pretty prevalent as summarizes
the show for us perfectly.
By the way, I can't see Byron's chat, so the fact he put this up here while I was mentioning it's pretty funny. So yeah, that's spot on. Brian Harmon seems like a lock to play. Like, why not? He seems to have better. I mean, I think he does have better course history than Keegan Bradley. Even with Keegan's 2 wins.
Yeah, but I think if you took 8 rounds and that was your minimum amount of rounds that you need at this course.
Oh, then Keegan would be up. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you got to do to make that number bigger for your course history, Brian Harmon's is the baseline. He's got 8+.
Sure. I see what you're saying.
Everyone else, well, he's got freaking 13, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Starts here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just the fact that it's just the sheer volume of results is just absurd. So,
And Aaron
definitely.
Rye. Aaron Rye seems like a slam dunk too.
Yeah.
Aaron Rye, Brian Harmon, and then you have to make the decision of playing be on Darbo's side and play Patrick Cantlay, or be on Byron's side and fade Patrick Cantlay.
I will find the alternative to Patrick Cantlay this week somewhere. I don't know what it'll be. It's coming. It's coming your way.
And
To
I
the
also
streets
think
too.
Keegan Bradley's that same. You either play him or you don't. Like that's which obviously that with lineup building it's binary. You're either playing him or you're
You either
not.
play him or you don't.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I wouldn't say shit. I wouldn't go all in on Keegan. I can't. I could never.
No, I don't think the time's right. You know, it's not like he's not changing the world.
Right.
But
So yeah, I don't know what are your takeaways?
I'm curious to weasel into guys' recent form that might be struggling coming into the week because of the fact that they haven't had a crack at a course that suits them the best. Some of the short hitters, but there's likely course history involved with the lack of recent form with those guys, you know. So, but maybe there's a couple that, you know, sort through the cracks. And if we take a look at, you know, what you're looking at here.
I was just looking at what you just said, looking at bad recent form and finding golfers that have, you know, good fits to this golf course.
Yeah.
I was just going to mention names and just see who you I mean, Corey Connors is the first one that comes to mind.
Fantastic fit for this course.
Yeah. So Corey Connors would be one. Sepp Straka would be another one.
Mm-hmm. Matt McCarty.
Your boy Sam Slevens. Poor recent form with a good finish at the U.S. Open. It's still going to look poor after that gets updated.
Mm-hmm.
Probably staying away from J-Day. The withdraw stuff. I'm so glad the optimizer did not like J-Day.
Yeah.
I had to force him into like a handful of lineups just to have some exposure to him. And I didn't put any of those lineups in anything that even mattered. So I was okay with him withdrawing. But at the same time, dude.
He's a liability, man. It's like so unserious with him right now.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. I don't take him serious whatsoever.
Yeah, sad.
You can go play with the lads all day long.
Exactly.
Ricky Fowler. You touch Ricky Fowler?
Okay. What? Dude, Ricky Fowler is his form. He's like recent. Go pull up his stuff, like in a row by row situation in the actual like machine.
By the way,
he's just it's just.
Can I quickly interject? Brian Harmon, I want you to see something.
Yeah.
Here's his baseline over the last year, just the last year. Okay. 0.103 strokes gained total. If I go to grass and put down bent grass, or bent grass, that bumps up to 0.834.
Ooh.
If I get rid of bent grass and we go to the course stats filter and we put in Pete Dye, goes up to 1.083.
Wow. All Pete Dye courses bent grass courses?
For the most part, it looks that way because these are all overseeded. All of these are overseeded. So yeah, there's going to have that bent grass POA overseed on them. Yeah, I've always attributed Travelers to bent grass because anytime I ever listen to the broadcasts and the people talking, they're like, these greens are so pure. It is just like putting at Augusta or something like that. They're just the POA that's in them isn't very prevalent. So you just when I hear that, it's in my notes. Play these like they're bent grass.
What does Harmon's situation look like if you go further back, like 5-10 years?
$1.330 for Pete Dye. It goes even up. It goes up even more.
That's you know, when your strokes gain metrics go up when you increase sample size, that's like it's good stuff. It's
so
good
his baseline is 0.522, and then if we put bent grass in, it just barely goes up. for bent grass. It's 0.612.
But Pete, in particular,
and Poa barely goes up too. So either way, it's still higher than his baseline. Yeah, and the Pete Dye whole thing about that.
Yeah,
pretty friggin' good.
Pull
what
up
if I
the
put
Pete
in
Dye filter?
travelers? Hold on, I want to see this. 0.522. 2.012.
Dude, like, for what it's worth, Scotty Scheffler, if you take a look at his like career, Scotty Scheffler this year is averaging 2.9 strokes per round.
Damn.
In 2022, he was averaging 2.2 strokes per round
Damn.
when he won 4 times. 2.7 in 2023, 3.2, 3.3 the next 2 years. So, like, to get into twos is bananas. Rory, over his last couple years, is averaging 2.2, 2.22, 2.4, 2.6, 1.7. So
crazy.
You could essentially say Brian Harman is as good as Rory McIlroy at the Travelers.
You asked, I think you were talking about Keegan, or we were talking about Keegan. What is the comparison? I'm looking at the last year, 0.458.
It's 1.5 strokes.
We'll do Mr. Pete Dye first. He goes up to 1.399.
Yeah. Well, because what? Pete, if you remove the player name and just pull up Pete Dye courses, what are we seeing here? We're not seeing any giant course.
Well,
that's
you got four golf courses. It's what you get with Pete Dye. There's 5 on tour. There's 5 golf courses on tour.
They are the Travelers, Harbortown.
Darn, I was hoping I had a different filter. Sorry. 2020. Let's go 2025.
But essentially, they're not longer than like 7,300 yards. So it's places where total drivers of the golf ball, where accuracy and distance can be a benefit, or just having pure accuracy and the lack of distance isn't a punishing factor nearly as much.
Okay.
Filter by position, then it'll just filter on everything.
Oh, good call. RBC Heritage, Travelers, Players, American Express.
There we go. So your 4 spots there: Sep, Keegan, JT, Rory. Rory winning on a Pete Dye venue is just, and it just makes so much sense that Brian Harman gains as many strokes as Rory does, like in his career at this golf course, but Rory doesn't play at this golf course.
Yeah,
because it would probably reduce his strokes gain total, average. That's insane.
2021 Kiowa is a Pete Dye golf course. I did not know that.
Interesting. It's probably one of the longest.
Oh yeah,
Pete Dye venues out there.
Someone in my chat went to play Kiowa. Dan Grands. I wonder how he did. All right. So we were going over your takeaways.
My takeaways that we ate in. We
oh my god! I interrupted you, and I was like, can I interject really quick?" And told you the Brian Harman stuff.
Well,
shit.
I was totally just enjoying whatever you were serving up, man. Like, it was not a problem. Sometimes you order your stuff to go, and you meet a friend outside the store. Then you just stand there until your stuff's cold. It is what it is.
That's true.
That's true. No biggie. Happy to have the conversation. I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, stuff you're not going to find elsewhere, because we get to do this for 3 hours, and I really enjoy doing it with you, my friend.
Same. Likewise.
So, general takeaways. I'm cool, exploiting a couple poor performers recently at bigger venues. May lean into a bit more of like PGA Championship, if you played well there, kind of thing. This shorter positional venues that we've played lately, for some recent form things, and then some course history, obviously, is just going to be the general takeaway. And then irons inside of 200 to 100. Kind of trying to identify who really gets a good boost, because this is a very unique course with that much. You don't find that many courses like this anymore where you see so much 125 to 175 at a course like this. So we'll see. But that's it for me. Allergy tablets, some sleep, Tylenol. Like every time I like open my eyes and look at this light, it just like makes me want to die. You know,
I can tell that it's bright because your cheeks underneath your eyes are white.
Yeah,
I can tell how bright it is. That's very bright.
I've been messing with settings as I've been like cleaning the room every single day.
I believe it.
For random strangers to walk through my house, and it's changing the things here. So it's like, and as a result, I'm stressed as heck. But it was awesome just getting to chat to you for 3 hours, my friend.
Of course, so same, man.
How did the giveaways go?
I think I got 12 new subscribers.
Okay.
So that was nice. I think it was Denny who won, and I can't remember how much he won. I forgot to give it to him, so I have to do that. I got done with all the podcasting stuff, and then Thursday through Sunday just becomes practice for me when it comes to golf.
Nice. Enjoy. That sounds so much fun.
Wow.
Are you enjoying practicing? Like, are you noticing an improvement in your game?
It's very interesting. I have a different perspective on when it comes to scoring. I was just talking to my dad earlier today because he asked me the same question, how practicing was going. And I've been practicing at a golf course that holds the qualifier for the 3M Open. So I just go there every weekend and just try my best to shoot under par because you have to. Yeah. The pre-qualifier, you got to shoot at least -1. And then to get in the 3M Open, you got to shoot -6. So far, this last Sunday or yesterday, I should say, I shot a 74. It was the best round that I've shot there yet. That's +2. So, I don't, or maybe it's +3. I can't remember, but it's like 3-inch rough right now. It is hard to hit out of. And it comes down to putting, Byron. This is like the thing. My ball striking was pretty good yesterday. Yeah, I was in the rough a few times after some just 2 barely in the rough tee shots. I was striping my driver for the most part. There was only one bad drive that I had that I couldn't hit anything really. I mean, that was where the rough was really bad. But outside of that, I've been hitting the ball really well. And I was going to say, our conversation of hitting it, Scotty Scheffler hitting it to 20 feet instead of 10 feet, like as soon as I said that and as soon as we were talking about it, I'm like, holy shit, that's what I need to work on. I need to get it closer, which is a no-brainer, like obviously a no-brainer, but I've been toning up every part of my game, driving, irons, chipping, putting. I don't really have the luxury of working on one thing over the other, but here's a fun thing that I learned about my golf swing. I was struggling. So the qualifier was great. For the Minnesota State Open, I shot 2 under. I was hitting the ball really well. I was putting really good too. Then that following weekend, which was last weekend, I played a tournament, a 2-man triple format. Not like hit the ball nearly how I wanted to.
Yeah.
And then I came back and was practicing a little bit and I still couldn't hit the ball that well. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I just bumped my hands forward to add a little bit more press because I'd noticed in one of the tournaments I played in, some guy was doing that. I was like, I always tell all of the people I give lessons to. And actually yesterday, my first round, I was giving a lesson to someone basically the entire time I was playing with them. So I couldn't really focus on my game. And I was telling them all the things that I think are right. And I go, shit, that's something I should add to my golf swing. And as soon as I did, holy hell, dude, everything feels so pure off of my irons. And literally it's my thing that I say to myself and what I usually tell people, your handle, the tip of your handle should be the middle of your left thigh.
Mm-hmm.
So your left hand would be basically on the inside of your left thigh. And if you start everything there, or the club pointing to your left pocket, usually is the what I think is the best way to go about it. For whatever reason, I sometimes forget to do that myself, and it is, and I like to shape the ball. When I hit draws, not a big deal, because a draw is you're swinging inside out and you're kind of getting ahead of the ball. But when you're hitting a fade, that club is kind of coming down first. Well, if it's trailing your body, I hit a lot of fat shots and a lot of thin shots when I try to hit cuts. But when I put my hands forward, woo! Even with driver is just nuked now. Like just doing it that way, and it's just a small little thing. That's it.
And you know what, Darbo, that tip might not even work to somebody else.
Right.
It works just maybe for most people, but for you in particular or whoever, like it's crazy, man. Just finding, but it probably will work for most people. I'm going to be trying that my next time I go out as well, because I think I've also got a little more neutral than I, being a little handy. But
I started doing that mostly for my wedges, because my wedge game is awful. I hit everything off the toe and everything goes to the right. I put my hands forward, everything is center face and everything is straight.
And you open your face by doing so even.
Right.
That's the last thing.
So yeah, if I put my hands forward, I actually kind of shut the club down a little bit. I wouldn't say a lot, like I don't close the club that much, but that's where my finishing position is if I hit everything perfect. So if I start with the hands forward and I swing back, I'm kind of going out to in more than I'm going in to out, and that I think is in itself providing a better strike. So it's been good. The practicing, it gets frustrating because like today, hit my wedges, I kissed the pin twice. Like everything was getting close. I'm like, great. Hit a 6-iron, my 6-iron a few times, because that's just how these greens are, like for distance wise. So my first few 6-irons draws. One of them kisses the pin. I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I'm dialed. This is sweet.
Jesus.
And so I start hitting fades. That's when it all starts falling apart. Where it's like, I don't have to do those things, but I like to have control over my golf ball. So I want to be able to do those things. It took me a little while. I had to go through 2 buckets of balls just to like get everything honed in. And quite frankly, what it all came down to was over time, I start creeping closer to the golf ball. I crowd it.
Okay.
And when I make impact with the golf ball, I have to step out of the way a lot of times. And that causes this weird path to hit the golf ball. And I'm just not hitting it properly. When I do everything methodically, I make sure I'm a club head behind the golf ball where I'm reaching just a little bit. The ball position's in the same spot. Hand position is in the same spot. Swing back, swing through. Perfect. As soon as I start getting lackadaisical and I get a little too comfortable, that's when shit goes awry, and that's when I get pissed off, where I'm just like, what's going on? And I forget about the fundamentals until I remember, all right, let's try this. And then sure enough, everything's back to being good. That's the most frustrating part about practicing, Byron, is you cannot, some people say you think too much. I think if you're one of the best golfers in the world, you can't stop thinking about what you need to be doing. You have to remember same ball position. You have to remember same hand position. You got to remember the same sequence of their takeaway and all that shit in order to make the same impact every single day or every single time.
Well, Scotty Scheffler, before he hits a golf shot, he's looking at his grip.
Yeah.
The world's best golfer who just finished 4th at the US Open.
Right.
Looks at his grip. Make sure that his grip is correct before he makes a swing. And I think that's where like having like ADHD is a setback.
I agree.
Because I can't repeat stuff in golf. It's way more like when you're vibing, versus where you're not. And it probably, I wouldn't be shocked if Clark has like ADHD, Wyndham Clark.
Some people
when his golf game is going great, he's playing good, and when things are going badly, you don't have a routine or a process. Do good process, right? What does his caddy say? Trust
Trust the
commit to the
process.
process, or trust the process, or execute the process, or whatever it is. Do like, if he has to be told to do that every time, he's obviously not doing it every time. Like, what succeeds for you is doing this. Why don't you do it every time? Well, I don't know. I just get into the moment and you forget about it.
That's
It's
right.
just how it
That's
goes.
right.
It's just like, so consciously focusing on what you've worked on that can help you succeed is great. So yeah, dude, don't be a freaking jerk and try to be better than you are. Stick to your lane. If you've got a 3-lane road, drive down the middle. There's no need to drive down the right edge or the right lane. Like, hit the fade whenever you need to hit the fade, and then if the situation demands for it, hit the draw.
Yeah.
Or whatever you were doing the other way around, right? It was the
Just
other way
depends
around.
on what the course requires from you,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll see, my friend. We'll see. Okay.
But the thing that I learned the most is I appreciate how golfers can shoot 6 under rounds of golf, like 6 to 8 under. Like, that's, in order to do that, everything has to be clicking and you got to be making your putts.
Yeah. Those, when I play with, even when I played with you a bit, I noticed it's more of like it's a physical chess game than anything else, because for amateurs, you are trying to execute the shot. You're trying to hit more than you should be, versus just getting your ball to the next point. That's the easiest to get your ball to the next point. Whereas, like, the moment just gets way too big for amateurs, where professionals just seem to get their ball. It's just so much more logical to them, like, they're not doing dumb shit as well. It's just so incredible how these guys can look at a 110-yard shot and, like, say, okay, I need to hit it at 112 for it to go to 110. And then it lands up being 109, which is
that's
cool.
what I'm probably the most jealous about, because I have a lot of times those in-betweeners and I go, oh, I mean, I just I had 108 yards on one hole and I have a wedge that goes 112. I only hit it like 90%. I'm like, this is so good. Goes long. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, and it's not even long by like 10 feet. It's long by 20 feet.
Yeah.
It's like, but I didn't even put a full swing on it. What happened? Why?
Well, that's the thing, is 90% the same as 95%?
It must be. I don't know. It's crazy.
So, that's what I noticed this weekend as well. Myself, was the windier it got, the better my swing came, because I started shortening my swing. And I think since getting fat, I've got very, I can just feel bending over. I'm stiff, rigid. Just shortening my swing, buddy, I was starting to dial it in. Like, I started enjoying golf again.
I mean, you got a big, when I golfed with you, you had a big backswing. Like, that's the one thing I'll always remember. You got such a big backswing.
Yeah. So it's why I'm topping golf balls now nonstop. It's because there's a lot going on. And if it's tight and stiff and I'm not, like, flexible right now, it's going to be a problem. Shorten that shit up.
Yeah.
Fatty boy. I've got just John Rahm it, I'm just John Rahming it now. So
perfect.
This is the world we live in. But who knows when next I play golf. But yes.
Gotta be with me sometime.
We'll figure something out, my friend. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, I promise you. It'll be here in Iowa for sure.
Yes. Okay. I'll travel down there.
All right, friends.
Yep.
We will do this now. Check out sweetspotdfs.com. Check out the Model Maniac Patreon. Everything you've seen here on your screens. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We'll see you guys next Sunday night.
Thank you all.
Bye.